The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Hello! Right on time. Right on time.
We're early, actually.
We are. In our
Remember,
heads.
we start at 6.
Yeah.
So it's nice and early.
Yeah, we're still early. We've just been early for this how many consecutive
for the last couple
shows?
months.
Couple years, because we changed the time. Welcome to the Real BBC, bagging, boarding, and chatting. I'll have to run over and get my comics. Graham will like them because they're fantastic 4 comics that I'm bagging and boarding.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I got some good stuff at a collector's show that I got to show off, but nobody cares about that. Yesterday was quite a day, wasn't it? Ladies and gentlemen of both genders, officially recognized 2 genders in America. Sorry, lads in the UK.
I can't wait to eat some grouper from the Gulf of America.
Ah, yeah. Dude, that was Mount McKinley's back. We're back, baby. We're back. Yeah, kind of hard to not talk about politics when a president makes promises and then, I don't know, follows through on them on the first half a day. I had never seen anything, and then makes a show out of it, like makes it a wrestling event where there's a signing desk and it was great. I freaking loved it. Elon, ill-advised salute. I saw when Jeremy replayed it for me. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, I was on Jeremy's stream for a long time yesterday. But welcome. We also have some Hollywood stuff to talk about. Captain African American. Can't wait for that movie. It's tracking really good, boys and girls of both genders. Officially recognized in this country. Yeah. And there's a pretty good clip floating around of, remember when Trump was going to possibly preemptively pardon his family and everybody just fucking melted down over it? What the hell was that? I heard a feedback. Whatever. Yeah, it turns out that happened, but the other guy did it. And there's a video of them melting down 4 years ago about, well, not melting down, saying that if you preemptively pardon somebody like Fauci, that makes them look really guilty, which they are. Fuck Fauci. I hate that guy. But welcome to the show. Hi, Az.
Hi. Look, we're okay over here in the UK with our 528 genders, or I don't know, fucking know. It's so wonderful, inclusive. I feel seen or something. Yeah, congratulations on pardoning everybody who's been trying to destroy your country for the last 4 years. Why if Fauci is, Fauci said I've done nothing wrong. If Fauci's done nothing wrong, then do not accept this pardon.
Yeah, publicly say I don't accept it.
I do not accept this pardon. I have done nothing wrong. If you feel as if I have, then please let the judicial system take care. I got a feeling he's not going to say that.
We haven't heard anything from that little goblin, have we?
He actually has said something.
Oh, he did? What did he say?
Yeah. He said he appreciated the yeah.
Well, I'm sure he did because he committed a lot of crimes, Graham.
There's a lot of blood on that man's hands.
Yes, there is.
And I can't believe that Millie hasn't been shot. That guy is a traitor.
He's a traitor.
Yeah. I mean, that's treason. When you call a declared enemy to tell them that I'll warn you if we're going to do something against you. That's treason. Yes.
And they kept him around and they got rid of Flynn for what? Some money?
Right.
Yeah. Like
they took his picture down yesterday. I mean, the paperwork wasn't even warm yet.
Oh yeah. They had just put it up and they took it down again. That was great.
Is TikTok back up again
Yes.
in America?
Yes.
Yes,
So
it is.
it must have been a traumatic 14 hours or whatever it was that
It
it
was
was
like
out.
Saturday night to Sunday, kind of during the day.
I mean, to be fair on that, I've seen people making fun of people reacting to it. It's like a lot of people's jobs were on there. I don't even like TikTok.
I know, yeah.
Say, for example, if YouTube got paused for 24 hours, just outright, it was blocked and gone. I think all of us would be like, what the fuck?
Actually, I think probably 99% of YouTubers would be, thank God we got a day
A forced day off?
and or they were just like, has this in any way affected the algorithm?
Yeah, you're like, oh God, it's gonna take like when they put it back up, man, YouTube's gonna be screwed up for a month. Damn it. One guy, I don't know if it's connected, but one guy did self-delete off TikTok. Some 31-year-old guy. Everybody knew it was going to come back. We could talk, TikTok. Trump tried to explain it so we could buy half of it, like the country, our country can own half of it, and I mean, it was at $500 billion of its worth. So they're going to decide. They either have to sell it or it dies. I think that's where we're at right now. So it bought themselves some time. Hi, MauLer.
Hello.
Hello. What you been doing?
Fucking typing all week. It's been a nightmare. But I'm writing lots of things
Words?
for a big old project that'll eventually make its way to the light of day. The last time I updated about this one to people, I was like, I look forward to it getting close to completion so I can talk about why it was so difficult to make. But yeah, I don't know. A little bit of misery, Just
Sounds great.
yeah,
Sounds
that's why I
super
like
fun.
these, hangouts. I can remember what it's like to talk to human beings instead of just seeing words on a page.
Yep. Well, good luck with that. Maybe I'll start writing my stuff someday. Sounds terrible though. Why start now? Yeah. And our very special guest, comic book legend, Graham Nolan. Hello, Graham. Hey, props to your Bills, man.
Oh man.
Squeaked one
Now
out.
next week we got to beat the referees, and then we'll get on to.
You have no chance. Well, maybe you do because you have Josh Allen. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit. That was a joke. Oh, I said I quit the NFL in 2017. I checked in for the first real time this year, and the game is just gay. It's so bad, even from 2017, and it's nothing like it used to be in the 80s and 90s at all. It's
You can't
flag
touch
football.
anybody.
No.
Yeah, it almost feels like it's set up, and I feel the NFL has chosen the Kansas City Chiefs as their flagship team, and they'll do anything to get them for that three-peat, to get into the Super Bowl so they can win 3 in a row. They think that'll be good for the NFL, but I mean, if the Bills get in there and win it, there's so much love for that team from the 90s around the world. That would be a huge boost for the NFL, but they don't see it that way. They see it as a small market team, and we're going to screw you. And I mean, we got to beat them bad to get any.
Oh yeah.
To get past the referees.
I'm sure MauLer is just enthralled with the sports talk. I know about small market teams. We were wedged in as San Diego. We were like considered nothing, just South LA, and then they just moved to LA. And then they made San Diego LA. So I left. So
Touchdown.
Touchdown. Touchdown. Hello. Wait, it's been a while since I did this.
People.
Exure agu.
Oh, hello. I am freezing. Can we make it warm? I'm going down to Florida soon, so really fun. And yeah.
Nice.
It's not snowing here like it is in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
We're laying off.
It's
I snowblowed 3 feet this morning.
Dude, there's
God.
there's a snow day here, and there's like 3/4 of an inch on the ground.
It looks like a light dusting. It's kind of cute that it's a snow day.
Yeah, it's a freaking snow day.
Back in my younger years, we didn't get snow days until the snow was half up our waists. Mind you, I was a child, so maybe that was 2-3 feet high.
That's a solid amount.
That's a meter.
Yeah,
Almost
That's
a meter. Yeah. What do you want to start with? Oh God, there's
John Barrowman's cock.
You want it?
Hey, me too.
Who's
John
Okay.
Barrowman's cock.
All right.
Is that
I
having
mean,
a
as
stroke?
people roll in, we can. No, I found this article because it's been interesting. We have the big Doctor Who come back, and everybody's gay, and John Barrowman, the gay character that they introduced in 2005,
yeah.
nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be found. Captain Jack, the other Captain Jack, very popular character, did come back for a Jodie Whittaker episode. It was fucking terrible. Kind of wasted his time doing that. And he really wasted his time considering none of his friends will answer his phone anymore. And we got some context. Remember, he got canceled.
Friends.
Well, yeah. Friends. So he got canceled. And he says, weird terminology here. John Barrowman says he's been blackballed. And can't even get an audition anymore.
That is a proper terminology, Gary.
I know.
Yeah, but you know,
It's because he showed his white balls.
I think there's a very good chance that John Barrowman has been blackballed during his life. Yes.
High likelihood.
Remember, this is the guy that didn't get the Will and Grace job because he wasn't gay enough. So they gave it to a straight man.
Yeah. And so John Barrowman's story is he was born in Scotland, lived in America a lot, actually lived in San Diego for a while. Got on Doctor Who, got on Torchwood, very popular amongst fans. Then he disappeared. And we found out kind of what happened. So like back in normal times, sets were a little loose. People did some crazy shit. There were no intimacy coordinators back in the day. And we got a little context on what happened because the accusation was he whipped his dick out on the set. Well, it turns out he was naked on the set for it. He was supposed to be naked. So apparently to feel a little more. Go on.
Well, remember it was spoken about in a comedic way, not an accusatory way. It was Camilla, what's her name, who played Rose's mum.
Yep.
And she said that she'd be getting her makeup done, and then John Barrowman would come up behind you, and he'd flop his. Apparently, he's a well-endowed man. He'd flop his dick on her shoulder and stuff. Now,
terrible.
I'm pretty sure.
That's not cool.
I'm pretty sure, John.
you don't do that with your guy friends, even. Okay,
That's a little bit above and beyond. I was just naked on set. I'm just saying.
You are right, though. The way the context in which it's brought up, they're all like laughing and stuff.
Yes,
Yeah, they're laughing.
They thought it was. Yeah.
Thought it was a good laugh.
Well, Babe Ruth says if you can do it, it ain't bragging.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
If I was naked on set, it's because it was written into the script and I was wiggling it for being stupid. It was to make myself feel comfortable because I am standing there stark butt ass naked.
Bollock naked. It'd be stark bollock naked. Yeah.
Okay.
Bollock.
Not bullocks. Bollock. Just trying to get my proper English down. It's my second language, you know. John Barrowman is about to hit the road again after 3 years. He describes as devastating. He was, in his words, blackballed after accusations of flashing on the set of Doctor Who. After the accusations came to a head, 2021.
No, stop it.
He issued a statement saying, "With the benefit of hindsight, I understand that I may have upset some people by my exuberant behavior, and I have apologized for this previously. Since my apology in November 2008, my understanding and behavior have also changed." So remember, he apologized in 2008, and it was cool. People were cool, and then it became uncool because of Me Too and stuff. So he had hoped that that would be the end of it, but he went on to lose almost everything, he says. In an interview with Whales Online, MauLer.
Hello.
Whales Online. From his house at Palm Springs, California.
Oh, he's doing all right.
Yeah. A gay man living in retirement in Palm Springs, California. How strange. That never happens. Where he lives with his husband, Scott Gill, and his parents, who have recently moved in. He just lost his role as a judge on ITV's Dancing on Ice, and other work dried up. He claims many of those he worked with turned their backs on him. I think I have been badly treated. Definitely, Barrowman says. Ahead of returning to Wales, MauLer, for the second leg of his tour in February. The conveniently named Laid Bear includes dates in...
Johnny, you're not helping yourself.
He sounds like he talks like me.
Okay, MauLer, here comes your turn. Name all these town names. Dates in...
Swansea, Carmarthen, Llandudno, Newton, Brecon, Aberdare, and Newport.
Okay,
Yeah.
I could say Newport, but I was going to say
Swansea.
Swamsia.
Wait, what's the
Swansea.
third one? What's the third one?
Llandudno.
Swansea.
Say it again.
Llandudno?
Llandudno.
Llandudno?
Llandudno.
It's the double L is pronounced.
Yes,
So
that's
it's
correct.
Llandudno.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's really hard to do.
Shandundo?
Llandudno.
Fluffer and Succotash.
I know. Right?
I feel like I'm Daffy Duck.
I can't speak Wales.
You got to Welsh it up, Gro. Come on, man.
Sound like Cernovich.
I'm
He
Irish.
hopes to tour will inject some life back into his career, which he admits has taken a huge hit. I'm disgusted at the way my Doctor Who and Torchwood family turned their backs on me. 99% of the things that were said about me were bullshit, and I'm under the impression that the person who started it all, the journalist who ran with it, and online judge and jury who think they can say what they want, seem to have the privilege to ruin someone's life and career. No one was offended. No one was upset. It was created by a source, quote unquote. It was crap. I ended up being good clickbait, and it lasted for about 3 years. I've been devastating to the point where I was blackballed for whiteballing. I can't get into the room for an audition in a meeting anymore. That's why I've decided to talk about it and lay it bare on stage, because it's quite disgusting how people have treated me. I've always been upfront and honest and talked about everything. And for the people to take that and manipulate it is disgusting. Only the truth comes out of my mouth.
What? That's a lie, John. That sentence, though, is a lie. So you can't say stuff. You can't say absolutes like that. Come on, sir.
I'm sure that happened too.
Oh my God.
Thanks. Oh, thank God. Coffee's here. One moment.
Oh my God.
So many double entendres in this.
Yeah, but what comes in his mouth?
I don't know where to begin.
He just does it to himself.
Oh,
That's-
mercy.
We're laughing our ass off. Man's fighting for his life here.
Yeah, fighting for his life from his Palm Springs fucking house, Gary. All right.
I mean, Frank Sinatra lived there, so
He did. Bob Hope.
yeah, Bob Hope.
Oh shit! Old Palm Springs was awesome. Who is well? This is part of the problem. The actor from Guardians of the Galaxy, Gladiator, the one who goes who? I can never pronounce his name. You know he's been recently complaining that he's not getting paid enough. He's not getting enough roles, and everybody looked up and it's like, what was his name, MauLer?
Jimon Honsu, I think.
That's
That's
it.
probably a fuck up, but hey, it's close enough.
So
Best I
the
can do.
internet, through a very extensive search of how much is what MauLer said's name's worth, and it's $4 million net worth, and it's like he's destitute. How's he going to get by?
I'm sorry for his loss.
And he blames racism, and it's like I remember a time where that dude was in everything. That dude was in every freaking movie.
Yeah, he had like
That is
2
some
lines.
kind
in his-
racists that made him 4 million or 4 billion. Did you say how much was he worth?
4 million.
4 billion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
4 billion.
I was about to say, what the hell's going on?
And that's net worth, not
Yes.
gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and he says it's because of racism, and
Okay.
I think it's because of Rebel Moon. So I think it's Rebel Moon. That was I-ism. That was imaginationism. For Laid Bear, I really wanted to get around Wales, MauLer, and do some of the regional theaters and feel closer to the audience.
Oh my God.
Are you going to be naked?
Like,
John, stop it.
John. Laid Bear is exactly that. We're stripping it back.
On some shoulders.
You're going to be entertained. You're going to learn things about me you might not expect me to talk about. I think we'll catch people by surprise a little bit in the tradition of what.
You're not helping yourself.
Dude. Dude.
You see that Breaking Bad video? It was just, John, stop.
In the tradition of what I was brought up in musical theater, when I can't speak I can't speak anymore. I had a song to which it helps express how I feel. It's sort of a stand-up with music, but it's a bit of everything, really. There is a question and answer session. So it's pretty much anything goes with John Barrowman, which he used to do at Comic-Con all the time.
Yes.
And it got really raunchy and stuff. So
there's a line up here that we didn't read. This paragraph.
What's this? Thank you for covering for me by saying we didn't read. I just want to appreciate it. Good looking out.
But I really think that we should read this.
Okay. So that one right there, I wouldn't do it now. I'd never do it now. It's different time. We know we have coordinators to make everyone feel comfortable, including myself. I'd think about things more now. Sometimes rather than going back to my trailer, I decided I'd stay naked on the set so we could get the scene done quicker.
Efficiency.
Efficiency. He was just letting it all hang out for efficiency.
It's John. We all know that that's not the reason, John. There's a slight difference between standing there ready for your next take and lobbing your dick on somebody's shoulders. But that was cleared up in 2008. Holy shit. I love this age of retroactively going back through time to cancel people again.
Oh. It's well, Neil Gaiman's. Woo. I don't think. Yep. Mr. Hey, lick my poop.
Oh.
I didn't even read that stuff.
It gets worse.
Tell me, and I'm like, I ain't reading that.
Gets
worse.
Go.
No, there was stuff I was like skimming, and MauLer was like, we were going over it. MauLer's like, are you sure you want to go over everything? And I'm like skimming it. I'm like, yeah, you'll be fine. I'm like, no. Okay, we could talk about licking poop. That's it. that was the best choice. That was the tamest thing.
That was the best choice. Okay.
I don't think I'll ever be at peace because I don't think I deserved what happened to me, but I am content with where I am. I've seen, I was about to go full Sean Connery. I've seen The Rapist. I've seen a therapist. I've done everything I needed to do, but I really get over how people turned. I really can't get over how people turn their backs on me because I'm loyal.
What did his therapist say? What? So I've just poured out my heart to you, therapist. What do you think? Probably shouldn't put your cock on people's shoulders.
No, he did. He stayed. That was because it made the scene easier. Were you listening?
Maybe he's so well endowed that putting it on somebody's shoulders actually took the pressure off.
Oh my god! So it stopped hurting.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
gravity's just
right.
I don't have a peen.
Tried out all different kinds of excuses. Like, it was just really hard. I don't know.
It's part of DOFE, Department of Film Efficiency. Stay naked the whole time.
But if you on a woman's shoulder, he's not even straight. So it's hardly a come on.
Yeah, that's why the women were like, okay. They laughed about it. They're on a stage laughing about it in a panel at a Comic-Con, like well before all that stuff happened. So
But somebody when they heard that was, for want of a better phrase, licking their lips to
Oh my God.
to make something of this. You know that.
I did, and it all came out. And
No.
Yeah.
And then they were finished.
Now I'm starting to wonder if there are any clean words in the English language.
No, there is not.
Well, we can all hope he has a happy ending with the story. Right?
Yay!
No sad tissues here.
Oh.
Cheers. All right, so how's everybody doing in chat? We okay? Weird opening, wasn't it? Surviving?
Surviving.
We're surviving. Is your streaming has your streaming battery low, MauLer?
Oh no.
Do we need to recharge?
What do you want me to do? Die?
Die? No. Well, maybe. I mean, we all are, except for you. You're an Eldritch god. Let's talk about. So, Captain African American is, I mean, like, God, the only movie that's coming out, it seems like, in the next month, next 3 weeks. I mean, there's no movies coming out at all right now. So we're looking at it's at $86 to $95 million, and we've talked about it before. Those are over the 3-day weekend, not the 4-day weekend. Which over that 3-day time period, that equals Winter Soldier, which came out in 2014. And it also doesn't account for inflation. It doesn't account for ticket sales sold. So they're charging more for tickets now, blah, blah, blah. And then we have another thing. It's down there, X-Ray Girl. It's a tweet. It's a tweet. It's a tweet. It's a different article. It's a tweet.
Movies.
It was right above that. So it looks like Captain America: Brave New World is tracking. Hey, it's above the Marvels, guys. It's a 1.4 times the Marvels.
Success.
1.4.
Wow.
What a meager sum. Jesus Christ.
It's outperforming. It's outperforming the biggest flop in Marvel's history.
Barely.
Barely. But it's equal with the Eternals, guys. The movie that literally saved lives. It's been reshot twice, and they cut it down to like almost it's what 158 minutes or not hour and 58 minutes long. Hour and 50, not 158 minutes. Hour and 58 minutes. I need more coffee. Yeah, it's not looking good. I still think this will be better than the Marvels. Slightly, but that's not saying
Slightly.
much. Well, when people from within Marvel are talking about like how much this movie sucks, it's like it's going to be funny when the shills go out there and love it to death. But
who wants this though? I mean, who wants Falcon America and who wants Red Hulk? I mean, you got two characters nobody wants to see in a movie, and they think they're going to make money on that.
They did. They really thought they really thought that these mantles could just be passed down without any thought.
Right.
Well, let's be honest, it's even worse than that because they're not just expecting it to make money. They needed to make a shit ton of money.
Like a lot. Yes.
At least $1 billion.
Yeah, if they had to shoot it twice, you got to factor that in.
Yeah.
Like this thing making 500 million is a failure. So it's like,
right.
Oh, they're fucked.
I'm pretty sure the attitude.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the attitude is just like let's cut our losses. But the reported budget is between 350 and 375. It's probably more than that. Let's be nice. Add 150 million in marketing, so you're looking at 500 million. Then you have to factor in that. And many people have said this before. Ticket sales. The studio doesn't get 100% of ticket sales. They get 60% here in America, and internationally. It's anywhere
40.
from it's 25% to 40% if you're China is like 25%.
China's 25, rest of Europe is 40.
Is 40. So yes, it has to make $1 billion to break even. And I think they would consider that like if this movie made $1 billion, that would be a victory. Just to make, even if they bought, could buy a bag of crisps, as you say in the UK. But Jesus, I don't think it's gonna, because it would need a lot of legs. And these, even the really good Marvel movies, drop 55 to 60%. That's considered a good drop. A lot of them have dropped 68 to 75%, which is considered a bad drop. But it's somewhere in that range, and it's normal for that to happen. So there's no competition until Snow White comes out, I think.
Which I know you're so excited about.
Circled on my calendar. That and
in Wales they call that Snow White.
Snow White. Slurpo White.
Slurp. Oh, dang it.
I didn't invite this racist man on the show, Gary.
Yeah, you did. You literally did.
Okay, yeah.
Not
In that case, working as intended.
Working as intended. Steve Rogers is Captain America. I really do believe they're going to bring Nazi Cap back. I think that's the Chris Evans Cap that's going to come back. I think it's going to be Nazi Cap, and then they'll probably do another version of Cap and Tony Stark, Iron Man, and Secret Wars. And it's like, you hear that, and maybe there was a time that that was cool, but I think most of the fandom is just like,
yep.
Okay. Yeah, we expect that to happen now. And it's going to be in 2 or 3 years, and who knows what the public appetite's going to be, and who knows like what other studios are going to change their ways and are going to be able to do it faster, and it's just going to make stuff like this look worse.
Well, Disney aren't. They're not changing their ways.
No.
We got Thunderbolts coming up after this. If this is a disaster, Thunderbolts is going to be worse.
Dude, Thunderbolts, like all of these, like a Falcon movie could have been good. A Thunderbolts movie could have been good. Like these all are concepts that could have been good. The Moon Knight show could have been great.
Yeah.
Oh, it really could have.
I know, man.
A movie about Namor could have been freaking amazing.
Yep. If Namor was in it and not
Namor.
No word about that guy. Didn't he get in a little trouble? He got accused, but then he fought against the accusation. So I don't want to say the guy's guilty or anything, but no word on Namor coming back. They're going to do a Black Panther 3, and they're finally going to recast him.
Are they?
Yeah.
So much for Shuri being Black Panther.
So much for that.
See, well, I mean, but she's kind of persona non grata at the moment, though, isn't she? Because of her views on the vaccine, which they didn't like.
Which were absolutely correct, by the way.
Yes.
I wonder if that doesn't actually play into it at all, and they just recognize like that we need actual like T'Challa back, which is what they do. Are they recasting, or are they just getting a different?
No, well, it sounds like they're recasting, and I think the reality is they got caught exploiting Chadwick Boseman's death in that sequel. It was pretty disgusting, actually. And most of the fandom was like, recast him, and they just ignored him again. But the vast majority of the fandom was like, just recast the guy. His family wanted him recast. I think Chadwick Boseman wanted the character recast.
I'm not going to pretend like I remember that movie very well, but isn't the whole point at the end like Shuri truly has adopted the role of Black Panther? Here she comes, and now it's going to be like, anyway,
yep.
Back to the and
T'Challa had a kid, and we're supposed to have to wait the kid to break up so he could be the next Black Panther. So they're just going to pull one out of a effing multiverse, probably.
Yeah.
I said it at the time, and I'll say it again. I think Disney saw this as an opportunity to expedite matters that they always had in place, which was to usurp him with Shuri with so T'Challa with Shuri. So I think that was always going to be part of the plan in the MCU going forward. So I think they actually took it as an opportunity to do that. They did it, went nowhere.
Back to the drawing board. And that's what they used the strike for. They used the strike as an excuse to, according to Chris Gore and my friend, they used the strike to excuse to kind of retool that, but it's kind of going to be, it's going to be very difficult, not kind of difficult, extremely difficult to erase certain things out of your head, but we will see. Fantastic Four is their biggest movie this year. That's the one that has to do well, and I personally can't get over a female Silver Surfer. I just can't. I think that's the dumbest thing.
There's a lot I can't get over. One is Pedro Pascal. I'm so tired of him and his wokeisms. You know, with happened with him and Gina Carano.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm not on board with him. And they're also doing this kind of like takes place in the 60s, right?
Yeah, it's a futuristic 60s alternative universe.
So this is like, even Marvel thinks this, that the Fantastic Four is not a viable modern concept anymore, when nothing could be further from the truth. It started as a space race, and we're in the midst of a huge space race today. You know, you could take Reed and make him Elon Musk. I did a whole proposal on the Fantastic Four, you know, to modernize it and stuff. And there's so much there that could be brought into modern day without it having to go back. It's like they're throwing up the white flag saying the FF is old fashioned and that's it.
And that's been their attitude towards it forever. You know, like at least, I mean, Fox didn't do a good job with it, but at least they tried. They tried to do
it was sincere.
Yeah, they did.
Except for Doom, the first one's okay, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. It is comparatively, and God, you know, you might miss some of the Fox superheroes, but it's been Marvel Comics has always been insecure about the FF and thought they were old fashioned. A lot of the creative, a lot of the editorial, they felt that way. DC felt that way about Superman. You know, I haven't, dude. The shit I would hear from some customers in San Francisco, which was nuts, you know, because everybody still likes Superman and Captain America, but I'd have the occasional professor from San Francisco State come in and go, in principle, I can't buy Captain America or Superman comics. I'm like, okay.
All right.
Yeah. Can I get you some Alan Moore?
Well, how about when Superman renounces American heritage? Could he buy him then?
Probably.
Yeah. Oh, I'm all on board. I got to buy some Superman comics now that he's shit on America.
Yep. Every time he lands, he has to do a land acknowledgement, you know, because, or no, he deserves to be there. Every time he lands, he gets a phone and an app.
He's an illegal immigrant.
Yeah.
So they'd love him after that.
Well, not in the John Byrne version.
No.
In the John Byrne version, he was born when the capsule opened. So that makes him a naturalized, you know, an American by birth.
God bless John Byrne.
I thought that was one of the good things he did in the when he revamped the character. I like that idea. It closed a lot of loops. And he was also very pro Kansas, pro Clark. This is his, you know, just before the Byrne thing, you know, it's like he's great Rayo, you know, he's praying to Krypton gods that he doesn't even know. He never saw anything of Krypton, only stories, and yet he was so Kryptonian, you know. That drove me nuts. You know, this is a guy who doesn't know anything other than Kansas.
He's an American. John Byrne did it right. And I'd love to talk to that guy. I talked to him once a long time ago. Cool guy. Good guy. Excuse me. God damn, I better not be getting sick. My wife's sick. There's been some casting for
sick of your shit.
Supergirl is in production. So man, I hope the Superman movie does well.
Oh dear God.
Jesus. If the Superman one like fails, the Supergirl she's doomed.
Yes.
So Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, based on the Tom King comic book series.
I'm out.
Yep. Yep.
Exactly. It was. I was in a big comic store. I've been away, and I was in a big comic store, and I was walking through, and I went past this some Tom King Batman, and I just went, bleh. And the owner of the shop walked past, and I went, "Oh, not your shop." I said, "I was just reacting to the Tom King I saw," and he went, "You have the same thoughts as quite a lot of us when it comes to him." I was like, "Oh,
ammo."
Yeah. This was like a big comic store as well, so I was like, "Wow, okay." Based.
So these are going to be.
Is she going to eat a rat?
Fuck. Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
He's going to take that from the Wonder Woman and add it into this, and we're going to have a Supergirl eat a friendly rat.
I think Millie Alcock, not Alcock, is a good choice for Supergirl. I do, from House of the Dragon. But David Krumholtz, who was recently part of the all-star cast of Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, and British actress Amelia Beecham have joined the spacefaring cast of Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, with Greg Gillespie as director for Warner Brothers, blah, 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 blah. The feature, which began shooting this week in DC's UK production hub of Leavesden?
Where?
Leavesden?
Leavesden.
Yeah. Is inspired by the Tom King and how do you say this name?
Bilky?
Bilky Evely comic book miniseries, and stars House of the Dragons Millie Alcock playing Kara Zor-El, the cousin of Superman. It's unclear how faithful the script by Anna, whoever, is to the comic. Hopefully not at all, but we can only hope. Which eschewed the traditional good versus bad tropes and instead was, of course, it's Tom King, was a cosmic character piece spanning many worlds and alien cultures. The Eisner-nominated 2021 story was told from the perspective of a young alien girl named Ruthie. Is that Ruthie? I'm guessing. Who enlists the aid of Supergirl is a quest of revenge against Krem of Yellow Hills, the man who killed her father. So True Grit. Eve Ridley is on the call sheet as Ruthie, while Matthias, oh man, all these names, is Krem. Matthias, thank you. Matthias, how do you say that last name though?
Schoenarts.
There you go. Thank you. Well, you went to school, okay? Quit showing off. Jason Momoa is due to cameo as the bounty hunter Lobo. Krumholtz and Beecham will play Supergirl's parents. The project was the first features developed by DC Studios, headed by James Gunn and Peter Safran. The duo unveiled as part of the initial slate. Alcock was picked as Supergirl almost a year ago and will first appear in James Gunn's Superman movie. So there's another character that's going to be in there. Great. Supergirl gets underway this winter and will shoot in the UK. So I'm guessing the script was done. That was part of the parameters of that. Yeah. Well, I'm just, I don't think this is probably the best of moves. What if Superman doesn't do very well? What do you think happens to the Supergirl movie?
The person who's Anna, whatever she's called, I've just looked around DB. She has 0 writing credits at all. She's just been an actress in some stuff.
Okay, maybe she's really good and she's been kept down by the system.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay, all right. Now that we've fucked about,
if Superman flops, this goes straight to HBO.
HBO Max.
Dude, I swear to, okay, right. If Superman flops, this film, this movie will struggle to hit 200 million. I'm not even fucking. That would be my prediction. If Superman flops, gets, I don't know, 500 mil, 600 mil, which would be a flop. This doesn't hit. This hits 2 max, probably 150.
I think and you're right. I think what's likely to happen is Superman's going to do pretty good. Like pretty good. That's my prediction. One moment. Damn it. Struggling today. I think it'll do pretty good, but I don't know if it'll make $1 billion. If it makes $1 billion, everything's fine.
I don't think it's going to make $1 billion.
But it depends on obviously the budget and stuff. But I'm happy they're starting with Superman. I wish it was just a Superman movie, like we've said before, and not filled with a bunch of characters and launching a universe. Maybe you just and James Gunn has promised that that's not the case. That all those characters that we see in it aren't going to be in it very long. So we'll find out then. I'm interested. I can't say I'm super excited.
They had to throw every fucking one of them in the trailer.
They did.
What did we have in the trailer? We had Hawkgirl, we had Guy Gardner, we had Maxwell Lord, we had Mr. Terrific. We had, obviously Lex Luthor's fine, and the rest of the cast of the Daily Planet is fine.
Metamorpho,
yeah.
Yeah, Metamorpho was in there as well. So there is a lot, and they were thrown into that they were thrown into that trailer big time. So if that's the case, then you're certainly marketing it in an odd way.
MauLer, are you excited for Superman? Are you mildly interested, or could you not care less?
It does feel a little like it's more of an observing thing that as more time goes on. I think it'll be dependent on this next trailer that comes out. See what it's looking like, because as we discussed, I wasn't too taken with the first one. And I mean, we've been talking about this for a long time, but I don't consider James Gunn a guarantee of anything, really. And I'm increasingly less fond of him as time goes on, just as a sort of, let's call them a media advocate of any kind. Like, just the fact that you can't trust a single thing he ever says kind of sucks. But yeah, I don't know, the nature of a super. Oh, this could go really bad.
It could. I think with the super, I'm like not interested. I like Supergirl as a character. I've always liked Supergirl. Really don't like Tom King and his stain on anything. I think that was a big red flag when we saw James Gunn's writing room. We saw I'm forgetting her name, the one who wrote Birds of Prey, and then Tom
Christina
King.
Hodgson.
Yeah, and it's like, what are you doing?
She apart from Bumblebee, which I thought was a decent film, everything she's done has been fucking garbage. She wrote The Flash.
Oh, that's right.
And Birds of Prey, and now she's on fucking James Gunn's writing team
with Tom King, who some horrible things must have happened to as a child.
I don't care.
And was a CIA recruiter. Fit right in. I think he fits right in. Oh, well, we'll see. We'll find out. This is a big year. This is a big year for the future of the superhero film. And I think all of it rests on Superman and Fantastic Four.
I want Superman to do well because I love Superman.
I do too.
There's very few characters when they translate into film that can give me chills when I'm watching him do something super heroic. And I get that every time I see Superman, whether it's, of course, Christopher Reeve, or going back to George Reeves, him busting through a wall and sticking his chest against a buzzsaw. I mean, I just love that stuff. And I really want this to be good. But, I'm cautiously optimistic. There's a lot of cooks in the kitchen, and that's not a good thing.
I think there's a better chance of this being good, Superman being good than FF. I just the people behind it, the character.
Yeah,
I think it has a better chance of being good.
The FF, I mean, did see those pictures of the Thing in his costume and stuff, and he looks freaking great.
I look good.
He looks like a Jack Kirby thing. Wait
till you see Galactus. Apparently they they pulled it off. Like, it's a practical costume. It's a dude in a costume. And it's I was told it looks Kirby, a mix of Kirby and a little bit of Giger. So, but if so we'll see. I hope he's fucking purple. You should have no fucks to give when you're making a comic book movie. Maybe a dark purple is fine.
I'll probably do that.
Not a Snyder color though, which is barely a color.
We're just in the era now where it's like they're finally embracing a lot of the original designs, but they'll still tweak them a little bit to avoid being too goofy, I'm sure is how they feel.
What's strange is we brought it up before, but Superman has done really well on television. Like, there's been multiple Superman TV series that have done fairly well. Graham, he's old as fuck like me. And so he remembers the George Reeves Superman, which that was all in heavy rotation. It would be George Reeves and then Adam West Batman for me in the morning.
Yep.
And I watched it every effing day. And always tried to get around my head because my mom, she would tell me at 6 years old, yeah, he killed himself. Why, Mom? He was sad. Okay.
Didn't it have something to do with the mob and something as well?
Maybe
there was some sort of connections there.
There was a Ben Affleck movie where he plays George Reeves. I I think he just had depression, but maybe there was some mob stuff. There was some weird stuff about his death. There definitely was. There was some weird stuff about his death, but that's what we grew up on. And there was even a Superboy TV series that I watched. Of course, there's, Lois and Clark. And like, they've all been pretty good. Even that CW that managed to pull off like a decent Superman, but man, they've had a hard time in the movies. Like even the, Superman Returns, which I do not like, has a good scene, has a great scene of him with the airplane. Like, that's the kind of stuff Superman should be doing all the time.
And when he got shot in the eye as well, that was good.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was pretty cool too. So there was like cool moments.
Yeah.
But, they just can't put a whole damn movie together. Sorry, MauLer. There's cool moments in Man of Steel. There's some cool moments in it. But they just have a hard time. And I think it's a lot of Hollywood just doesn't believe in Superman. They just don't believe in a character like that. They can't really get their heads around like a real hero who, that my favorite part of the trailer was when he saves the little girl. That's what Superman should be doing for 2 hours, is saving people and doing like impossible things. And maybe the culmination is some in the second or third movie fighting some big bad where they're just beating the shit out of each other. Like Superman the movie, he was just taking on Lex, stopping nuclear bombs and saving Lois and not saving Lois and turning the world back, turning time backwards. But but good shit. And then they had him fight the Kryptonians in the second one. The Donner cut is far superior. Far superior than the Lester,
Amen.
Than the Lester version, the silly Richard Lester who directed Beatles movies.
I like Beatles movies.
I do too. When Superman 2 came out, like I was 12, 11. So I was fine with it. I was like, that was great. That was great. But as I got older, I'm like,
I haven't seen the Donner cut. But the opening sequence in Paris, I thought was a great opening. I really like that sequence. But that's about it. I mean, the effects with throwing the bus and the back screen stuff of the Kryptonian villains flying together, and it just does not hold up. It's just terrible.
It looks rough, but if you watch, I like the Paris opening scene too, which is not in the Donner cut at all. So the Donner cut is when Superman puts the one nuclear bomb in space. It releases Zod, Ursa, and Non, and that what brings them down. But the rest of it, they even have to put in some like B footage where they have to do some like horrible CG to make one scene work. And it's still like 1,000 times better because you can see that most of those films were shot back to back, right? So you could see in Superman Lester's version, you could see the distinct difference in Lois's hair. Through like once you see it, you can't unsee it. Like her hair is totally different.
What was I'd love to talk to the writers and think of, okay, well, what's with the throwing of the Superman logo and do a giant plastic thing that can hold bad guys for 2 seconds and distract them? Like who puts that into their utility chest, if you will? What is that?
That I or the little beams coming out of their fingers, but
yeah.
But I mean, you read Silver Age Superman. That was fucking weird shit. The Silver Age Superman comics were weird. I'm going through them now because I didn't read a ton of them when I was younger. So I have a bunch of them now and I'm reading them. And that's like, what the hell were these guys on? I know they were going super silly because of the comics code and stuff, but wow, they're weird. They're weird stories. I love the sexist ones. Well, that perceived as sexist. I think they're based. Where Lois is, 5 ways to trick Superman into marrying me. It's like, I think they're fucking great. They're great. You know what else was great was again, apologies to my co-host in the UK. You know what else was great? Yesterday was great. I was on
Why? What happened?
We did a peaceful transfer of power. as we're supposed to do as the greatest nation on earth. We had a corpse at an inauguration. Somehow the fact that he was dead managed to probably crap his pants a little bit and pardon his entire family during Trump's speech. Because that does, and then he pardoned Fauci. So COVID affected everybody's lives in some way or another, some worse than others. The government reaction, people blame COVID, but it's the government reaction. The government reaction to COVID was criminal. Destroyed a lot of lives, as you know, affected my wife's life. So fuck people like Fauci. And he was pardoned. Now, he hasn't been, as far as I know, charged for a crime yet.
Has not.
So why would you be pardoned?
That's a very good question.
It is a good question. Pardon from probably all the crimes, future crimes and past, and pardon between a specific time.
All the crimes is going to be found guilty.
Is that how pardons work? If you commit a crime after being pardoned, can you be punished for it or no?
Yes. If he commits a crime now, he can be punished for it. He can be punished for the crimes he's been pardoned for.
What about a crime that's discovered after you've been pardoned, but it happened in the past?
That's what it's for. That's what
the pardon is there for.
So if I don't know if it holds up, you would have to, like, if it's egregious.
Legal scholars are going to be arguing this about what if it's constitutional to do this when a crime is not, when you have not been charged for a crime. How can you be pardoned for something you haven't been charged with? And that's the angle I think legal scholars are going to take when they start to argue this. But this will end up in court, I think.
I think so, especially if they discover a crime, because Rand Paul's like, I don't care if he's been pardoned. I'm going to investigate the shit out of this guy. And good. I hope he does. Because nothing makes you look guilty than more than a pardon for something you weren't charged with. And
preemptive pardon.
The preemptive pardon. Let's see if I can find.
Well, when Trump was at his desk and he was signing, and he mentioned the pardons, he said, "I could have pardoned myself at the end of my first term, but that would have been, people would have thought I was guilty," is what he said. Yeah. So he never did, because he knew he wasn't guilty of any of that stuff. He knew it was all witch hunt stuff. And so he didn't pardon himself, but he had the power to do so.
He did. And that was brought up. God, I hate these bookmarks because it doesn't take you right to the...
You know how many pardons he did in his first term?
Oh, yes.
Trump.
Yes. I saw the number yesterday. Go ahead if you know the answer.
247.
Yep.
And when Biden left, over 8,000.
Yeah. So it was, I think Bush did a few hundred. The fewest was Trump, was 272. Obama did like 1,900, and Biden did 8,000. 8,000.
Now the most was Andrew Johnson, but that makes sense. He pardoned over 100,000 people, but they were Confederate soldiers.
Yes.
So that makes sense.
Some people
were the 8,000 Chinese.
Maybe. Maybe 7,000 of them. Not sure. I'm looking for this.
6,000, over 6,000 of Biden's pardons were for marijuana possession arrests.
I mean, whatever on that one. Sorry, I'm looking for talk amongst yourselves. I'm looking for this fucking Jesus Christ.
So he was pardoning all the people that Kamala Harris put in prison.
Pretty much. Oh, yes, that's true. X-Ray Girl, you're going to have to handle this. So look at the screen right there.
It's not the first time she's said that before.
This is the tweet I need.
Wow.
This is the tweet I need.
And, well, okay, 1 second.
It's from yesterday. Okay. I'm going to read a super chat while we're waiting. Doc Hollywood for 100 said yesterday was a great day for the U.S. Hopefully it will be for the UK as well. The world is slowly healing. Maybe one day Hollywood will heal as well. Well, we're going to get into that because they're reacting. They are certainly reacting to what's going on, but it's not like it was last time. It's very muted. It's coming from the usual suspects, but a lot of people are just fucking quiet right now, which is very interesting, I think, and expected. I think what you're seeing is the cultural shift, which will allow the people who don't want to get involved in shit to, like, who quietly were against this stuff, but it was quiet. They're now going to be able to talk a little bit more and be safer, and that will move things, hopefully to some kind of common sense. They're never going to fucking give up. They're never going to stop being Hollywood. I promise you. If the View's on today, I don't know if it is. I don't know if it's already aired. They're going to have a half an hour on Elon's Nazi salute. That shit's not going to change, but the rest of it will. You find it okay. So we just talked.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, wait till Mel Gibson, Sylvester Stallone, and
yeah.
Who was the third one?
John Voight.
John Voight. Yeah, wait till they get in there.
It's a smart move, and I think. I mean, between Sly and some other people, they actually can. They're trying to bring business back to L.A. And if Gavin Newsom was smart, which he's not,
no,
which he's definitely not, you could. Somebody proposed this on Twitter, and I think it's a good proposal. Is you roll back your fucking excessive taxes and you start getting productions to shoot in L.A. right now, which will give people jobs while their houses are being because. So many of the industry, it's another interruption of Hollywood. So much of the industry lost a home. Producers, executive producers, shows are being delayed right now. Actors are probably going to lose roles because they got to focus on getting their house rebuilt. And it's another interruption. That's 3 major interruptions in 5 years. That's not good for an industry. So what do? You take advantage of this and you roll back some of your stupid tax shit and you let people film in LA for cheaper, but they won't do it. They won't fucking do it. Hell no. They're still making people pay their mortgages. They're still, you still have to pay your property tax on a house that doesn't exist. And a lot of people are, yeah. And I mean, I would hope that they come out and like ease that. And I don't know if that's happened yet or not. They've done that in the past.
You have to pay property tax on a piece of ground now. When you buy land, you pay property tax on the land.
Yep.
And when you build a house on it, that land and the house you build on it is now multiplied its value. Now that the house is gone, you should be just paying the tax on the land.
On the land, yeah. But it's going to be based on the house, at least for now. A normal state would go, we're going to have to ease this stuff, and it's going to be a big hit coming from Palisades. The state gets a lot of money from Palisades, one of the highest taxed areas in the world. But back to preemptive pardoning. Now, where's my pardon? But so remember, it was rumored that Trump was going to preemptively pardon Giuliani and possibly, and this is according to fucking CNN and all these other trash sites, so we don't know if it's true, possibly pardon himself. It was rumors floated out by them. There on the right is Adam Schiff, one of the biggest pieces of shit in Hollywood. Failed scriptwriter, by the way. Failed scriptwriter. Not surprised there. And I think that's Joy Reid, right? With a different wig on, maybe?
Oh, I think you're right.
Oh, yeah, it's the Reid out. It's Joy Reid, the pinnacle of human intelligence. This is a clip of them talking about preemptive pardons from a few years ago.
Have you ever heard of somebody getting a preemptive pardon who was innocent of all crime? Who's just an innocent person? Have you ever heard of that? Just somebody getting a blanket pardon and they're an innocent person?
But no, it's the president's own family. It's people that have been covering up for the president in addition to his own family.
Is there an innocent explanation for someone to seek preemptive pardons for family members? Would you do that if you knew you were innocent and just worried about outside forces?
The answer to that is going to be no. If you haven't done anything wrong, you sit there and go, what do you need a preemptive pardon for?
If he pardons people preemptively, he's essentially telling the public that these people have committed crimes.
What?
And we may not be aware of what they are, but the pardon is clear evidence that crimes have been committed.
I imagine if he decides to issue these preemptive pardons, it will be cast in a way that he is protecting his family and protecting their reputations from, villainous exterior forces that are against him.
First off, we should just take a deep breath and acknowledge the audacity of a president who's so clearly concerned about his own criminal culpability and that of his family members that pardons are a major obsession with him.
The idea of a kind of prospective pardon, this sort of permanent federal get out of jail free card, that seems to be what we're talking about in the case of this, right? With Giuliani and his 3 eldest children who, as far as we know, have not been convicted of a crime. Maybe they've committed a lot. And they don't want to face action. I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know.
It's weird. I don't think I deserve one because I don't think I've done anything criminal. But where does that come from? That concept that you can just kind of wave your magic pardon wand.
We have Tish James. We have Xavier Becerra. Mimi Roca is literally my DA in my town. There will be opportunities to prosecute these people regardless if they abuse the pardon power as they are thinking.
Hopefully, Ellie, there will be a skyfall on this entire crime family, and there will be another day for them to die.
The president does indeed pardon
What was James Bond
any members of his family. Would you see that, and I asked Preet Bharara this question, as essentially an admission of guilt?
I certainly would view it that way. I think millions of Americans would view it that way. If there was no belief in criminality, why would he think a pardon was necessary?
CNN has learned President Biden will pardon his son Hunter Biden
and the rest of his family while Trump is doing a speech.
15 minutes before the transfer of power.
Yeah. Crazy. That clip was out there just for Biden, so they just recirculated it for Hunter, for the rest of the family, for whoever else. It was the J6 committee. It was Fauci. It was his family. Doesn't look sus at all, as the kids say. Crazy.
Those kids.
Those crazy kids. Jesus Christ. And they did it right in the open. I mean, that's as arrogant as, I don't know, killing Jeffrey Epstein in front of everybody and saying, oh, yeah, he totally hung himself from 2 feet on the bottom cot where the cameras accidentally went out and the guards went off duty.
That could happen to anyone.
2 mysterious hookers showed up and lured the guards away. Never happened. Yeah, I do. I do too. Those damn hookers. So, we have another article here. Which one do we want to do? Oh, this one's good. This one right here. The one where how Trump will war with Hollywood while swiping all of its tricks.
Okay.
So they're trying to, it's kind of a semi-cope session, but it's also seeing reality of how Trump has used pop culture and why pop culture is important and why we talk about this stuff. Andrew Breitbart talked about it 20 years ago. 10 years ago, unfortunately, he died. There's an interview where it's a year before he died where he literally states pop culture matters and the right just doesn't recognize it ever. Ever. So how Donald Trump will war with Hollywood while swiping all of its tricks. No president has ever relied on much on the operating principles of the entertainment business, and none has ever had such a fraught relationship with it. Well, I mean, why does he have a fraught relationship with it? He used to be beloved in Hollywood, and now he's not because he turned from a reality star that everybody loved into a Nazi overnight because of the Nazi panic. The protagonist could only be as compelling as the forces of antagonism, Robert McKee once said. And while Donald Trump surely never took a screenwriter class, he instinctively understands this and many other axioms of Hollywood storytelling. More than any national politician in history, the incoming president, whose inauguration was on a cold Washington, D.C. Monday afternoon, he relied on the mechanisms of modern entertainment, starting with his perpetual casting of Hollywood as the villain. They cast themselves as one. Yet even as he continues to find new ways to bring together backroom politics and backlot note-giving, Trump's second term is poised to have some more complex relationships with the entertainment business than with most any other industry, plunging its interests into financial and legislative uncertainty. Whatever you think of him, Trump's appropriation of Hollywood techniques is a fresh notch on the political belt. Ronald Reagan, who actually came from Hollywood, relied on some of those methods honed in this town, including the art of the Oval Office speech, a primetime magician in the network television era. But he often transcended its manipulations, choosing statesmen over showmanship. Trump has never met a TV trick he didn't like. His skills as a reality television barker are rightly touted. In the first White House go-round, he allowed him to make a virtue out of the chaos. If it wasn't clear enough, he knew what he was doing. We still turned to see what he was going to do. You don't have to be here to make friends, just ratings. It's not show friends, it's show business. Like when he's signing executive orders and doing a press conference at the same time for 40 minutes after an inauguration that he's been up since 7 o'clock in the morning. He has 3 more balls and he's like 78 years old. I don't know. That looked fucking exhausting, but definitely a showman. But Trump's Hollywood gambits well surpassed the obvious bit of, oh my God, abracadabra. I could see that. In fact, they so preeminent, his MO, we can sometimes forget to notice him. He escaped death on a field in Butler, Pennsylvania, had echoes of John Wick repeatedly dodging threats to his life. Was it John Wick 1 or 2, 3, or 4? MauLer wants to know. He regularly uses the more is more ethos of modern tentpoles, aiming with the boast to create a bigger effect than Paul Atreides riding a sandworm. And with the inauguration comments like, my recent election is a mandate to completely and totally reverse a horrible betrayal and all the many betrayals that have taken place, give people back their faith. I also love that he said that the stars were a manifest destiny. Shit. I was like, wow. Often strikes Dune-like Messiah notes besides his naming of outrageous cabinets characters seemingly every few hours over the weekend, a week-long period in November, was right out of a reality TV premiere episode playbook. You can believe who just showed. You can't believe who just showed up to Alan Cummings' Highlands Castle. The formula will, of course, be extended and reversed when many of those choices are inevitably and God, I'm losing it. Eliminated. I can see it. Hang on, scroll up a little bit. I'm trying to read it off this screen. I'm going to try to read off my own. Oh, now I can't see anything. You just lost me. There we go. Eliminated for months to come. The front man deciding which green tracksuit wearer's time is up. Trump's selection last week of John Voight, Mel Gibson, and Sylvester Stallone as special envoys to bring Hollywood business back from foreign countries was its own producerial bunny poll. There weren't simply the fan tastes of a man stuck in 1985, nor did it matter that making business harder overseas. I don't know. Okay, stuck in 85. Stuck in I think Hollywood's, well, never mind. If that's in fact what the trio is supposed to do, is the opposite of what the industry needs, which is to shore up flagging box office sales abroad. Really? I think you probably want to shore them up at home first. There was only, Hollywood's been living off of it reached maturity in America, so that's why it went international. The problem with international is you can't do, Justine Bateman brought this up, you can't do comedies, you can't do satire because a lot of those nuances won't be caught in other countries at all. So you have to make very general stuff, and that's why they focus so much on genre, because that's the stuff that would sell in China. Well, China is now making their own shit, right? They just They allowed the Americans come in so they could basically do what they always do, steal our shit, and then do it for their own country. So that one's kind of, that bubble's burst. And that's why they had a really, especially through COVID, China wasn't allowing some Marvel movies in. They didn't allow Shang-Chi in. I don't think they allowed the Eternals in either, MauLer, because the director said something bad about China 13 years ago or something like that. But
yeah. She had views on China.
Trump's selection of the Social Security eligible swashbucklers sought out to play on our love of the just outlaw. Let's never mind the corpse we had as president. Okay. The placing atop the call sheet, the stars of First Blood, Runaway Train, and Lethal Weapon, nothing less than recasting American history as for more Expendables installments. Well, let's not bring up Tulsa King, which is pretty good. The tell came in a speech from Rambo himself, who spoke to Trump at the Trump Gala audience at Mar-a-Lago shortly after the election when George Washington is defending his country. He had no idea who was going to change the world because without him, you could imagine what the world would look like, Stallone said. He then added with a straight face, we got a second George Washington. No, really, he said this. Get pumped, as Barney Ross calls Lee Christmas, Yin Yang, and the rest of the gang out of retirement for one last mission, and we'll keep watching until they run out of sequels. Well, that's what they're doing now. That's exactly what they're doing now. But what's different this time is you could talk about this stuff without having, nobody's getting canceled over this. We can now talk about it freely. They can even almost have a nuanced conversation about it in the Hollywood Reporter 8 years too late. Of course, it devolves into fucking Hollywood bullshit. And they're like, oh, we're all going to die because Trump's in office now. So I don't know how big of a shift it's going to be, but it's definitely interesting. And it started yesterday. Yesterday's the start of it. And I agree with MauLer, and I talked about this. 2025 is going to be an unpredictable year. I don't think we're going out on a limb by saying that, considering we're 21 days in now, and it's been complete chaos. Some of it fun, some of it not so much fun. Don't everybody break in at once.
2025 filled with projects that could be good, bad, or something in between. We're probably leaning towards something in between and bad. It's like it feels like we could be headed for a whole year of just leftovers, almost weird sequel choices and stuff like, I don't know, stuff that we just don't even know exactly what they're going to do to it to account for the change in perspective. 2025, what can you say about it coming up? I have no idea. I don't know what the fuck we're going to be getting.
We'll find out. We're not getting anything this month except for Section 31. I know Graham's looking forward to that one. That is just pure Star Trek. Graham being the OG fan that he is.
Oh.
That comes out.
RuPaul's Section 31.
Comes out in 3 days.
Dude, it's out and proud.
Oh, dude. 12 million.
Star Trek died in 1973, right? When the animated show went off the air.
We know your feelings.
Damn, not even TNG makes it into the cut.
I'll go as far as the original Star Trek movies to a point.
Holy shit.
And then I draw the line. Now, I did like Enterprise. I thought that had that feeling of adventure, which I liked. But I mean, Next Generation was fine, whatever. I mean, I thought it was a little woke and it was really boring the first 2 years. But nothing beats the original series to me. I mean, I do a whole show on it on Wednesday nights called The Landing Party.
It's the best, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I like TNG and I like DS9.
Yeah, they're fine. Yeah.
I like them a lot.
But what's the new one? With
Star Trek is gay as fuck. The show.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's what it's called.
Strange New Worlds.
Star Trek is retarded and gay and it's written by window lickers who aren't got a clue about sci-fi, never mind anything else.
Strange New. Wait, no. What's the one with Captain Pike?
Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, Strange
Yeah.
New Worlds.
Okay, yeah. That to me seems like it's just fan service. It's half cosplay and half.
That's a good description of it. That's a
The
very
show
good
that
description.
has Khan's granddaughter as a fucking crew member on the Enterprise.
Yeah,
Crazy.
and Kirk's brother, because we got this giant universe, but we got to shove everybody in there.
Oh,
Kirk's
Kirk.
brother who had one
they fought the
episode
Gorn.
in the original series where he's dead.
They fought the Gorn.
Yep.
And so when Kirk meets him, years later, it's what's the big deal? Why don't you know about these guys?
You should.
What about on Spacey then? When oh yeah, we know you. Your granddaughter was here a couple of years
Spock.
back.
Yeah, Spock is like after Wrath of Khan. Spock's all, I'm really sorry I haven't told you this, Captain.
There's a lot of things we need to sit down and discuss.
I have a stepsister who's black. I have a foster sister who's black. And I might have served with a relative of Khan.
Oh yeah, they also threw a muck time under the bus by having T'Pring and Spock meet before he got his Vulcan hard on for her. It's just horrible. It's just fan service. They're not trying to write something new and different that can connect tangentially with the original series, which is supposed to happen later on.
Yeah.
They got fan. And what about that captain's his room? Kirk laid on some shitty hard bed, and he had one little door to open. Because like a submarine, space is at a premium. He's got this beautiful chef kitchen, and he's got 5,000 square feet.
Yeah, he's got an artist loft in there.
Yeah, it's like he's living in a like Donald Trump's penthouse.
Oh, did you ever see inside? Was this Discovery or no? It was Discovery. So we were still watching Discovery when they had the lift battle, and it was a fucking roller coaster going through the entire ship. Like it's this, and the ship is just massive. Like
it's just like this colossal space. What?
Yeah, it's like they have the lifts going on a roller coaster ride, and it's like, what? How big is this fucking ship? Jesus. Yeah, that's part of it. Oh, that's the Kurtzman thing. So Kurtzman comes from the school of Jar Jar Abrams. Jar Jar Abrams and Kurtzman hate each other now, but they severally come from the same school of, we're not going to do research. We're just going to riff off of fucking clips we see on YouTube and, stuff we've heard from other fans and forum. And we're also going to lift from previous novels without giving the writer any fucking credit and just fuck up their novel adaptation, by the way. And we're going to have singing Klingons because that's awesome. A musical episode because we need to make everything like Buffy. And it was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
That's what I was
How
out.
do you tell me that you hate Star Trek without telling me?
Yep.
That you don't understand it either,
No, and they just keep wanting to make it what it never was, Star Wars, and and instead of having this niche thing that had this fandom that was growing, it's not going to ever get to Star Wars size, but it was always kind of growing. Even after the 90s, there was still an interest in Star Trek. Even through Enterprise, they were selling enough comics, they were selling enough books, they were doing pretty good. It was a money printing machine for them, and then they went to Jar Jar, who said over and over again, I never watched Star Trek. Never liked Star Trek. So it's the perfect guy to give it to. What the fuck?
Frat boys in space.
Yeah.
That's what his movies were.
Yep.
Kirk running around being, this punk ass kid, when we know from the original series that he was what'd they say, a walking something with books. He was a very serious and studious person. And when you were in Kirk's class, you think or you sink. Gary, what's his name, told him in the first pilot. So we know this about him. We know about Finnegan. We know about what he was like at the academy. And that dude that we see in the Abrams movie is nothing like that. This guy is some punk ass kid, who maybe be very bright, but with no direction in his life. And, he's running around the Enterprise like a maniac. Just everybody's got an opinion on the bridge where, there's no military discipline whatsoever. Like in the original series, Kirk would have shut them down in a second, like he did in the Corbomite maneuver. I'll take that under consideration, Mr. Bailey, when this becomes a democracy. Yeah.
Right. So he wasn't this. The stereotype of Kirk is he was fucking everything and he was breaking rules all the time. And while like he got laid, he was not like that in the show at all.
No, he wasn't, and he didn't even he didn't get with anybody until the second season.
Yeah.
When they were trying to work things out in the series. Gene Roddenberry was taking a step back. Gene L. Kuhn had come forward and was producing. And there was a lot of changes that Roddenberry didn't like by the second season. And, they're beloved episodes, a lot of beloved fun episodes, but, he didn't like that fun shit. He wanted straight up sci-fi action adventure.
Well, and that's why they always went away from him at some point. They went away from him in TNG. They went away from him in the movies, but I still love Star Trek: The Motion Picture. It's I freaking love it. I know some people think it's boring. I don't care. I think it's one of the most Star Trek movies of them all.
Bingo.
Yep.
Bingo. And the newest release, the 4K director's cut, unbelievable. It's a whole new movie. It's a whole new movie. It's a little slow. I mean, yeah, you can't argue that. It's a little slow, but it is the most Star Trek of them all because it deals with high concepts. It deals with science. And it deals with humanity, And
Douglas Trumbull special effects, dude, which were great.
I liked it. Would you believe Drinker tried to get me to skip it?
Really?
Yeah. I refused.
The attaboy, and you liked it.
Motion picture's amazing.
I did like it, yeah.
Yeah. I remember that's the first time I saw it opening night as a freaking 9-year-old kid, and that was the first time I saw people applaud characters coming on the screen in a movie theater ever.
Yeah.
So McCoy comes in, he's all bearded, and people are just screaming. It's like, oh, this is cool.
Got a little peace symbol or whatever.
Whatever the hell he was. That was. I think they made a figure. Didn't they make a 1/6 scale of that Dr. McCoy? Aren't they? Didn't I see that?
Yeah. It's XO6 have done a 106, and it's not released yet, but the pre-orders have been up.
Oh, that's cool.
They did it for all. They did Admiral Kirk, and then they did Spock with his robes, and now they're doing bearded bones to go with it, so you can have the full ensemble.
I wish they had made it clearer in the film that Decker was Commodore Decker's son from the Doomsday Machine.
Oh, from the Doomsday Machine.
Yeah.
I did not even know that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why there was this relationship with Kirk and him. He kind of put him under his wing. And it's in Roddenberry's book when he novelized Star Trek: The Motion Picture. There's some interesting stuff in that book. But yeah, that's not clear at all.
No,
when you watch the movie.
No,
that they don't make any reference to Commodore Decker and the Doomsday Machine and all of that, which would have been perfect because we're dealing with this machine entity. You'd think that Kirk would hearken back to remember the Doomsday Machine. Yeah,
but they didn't. But you remembered, Graham. I had no connection with it when I was 9. I saw the Doomsday Machine. I saw all the I can't even remember what first time I saw Star Trek in order. Maybe the 90s, I think. But we just saw random episodes, and they would play. There's certain episodes they play more because they just got better ratings and stuff. And had no fucking idea when we were growing up, like what was season 1, 2, or 3. Like they were just really random at sometimes, except for the marathons, which were awesome. God damn, those were awesome. Good stuff.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Indeed.
Graham, you got a book? Got any
I do
books?
have a book. Yeah. Yeah, we got the third part of Escape from Monster Island is funding right now on Indiegogo.
Link
There
is
it
in
is.
the description.
Link from Compass Comics once again.
We're in Canadian dollars.
We're in Canadian dollars. It's looking really good. Do shekels. No, do US dollars.
What?
Oh, Taiwan.
How
Yeah,
am
that'll
I
look
doing in
great.
Taiwan.
Yeah, that could be good.
There
I
you
thought
go.
it-
Oh man, holy
I'm
shit!
killing it in Taiwan.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hey, can
Watch
we
out, Eric,
convert
he's
that to
coming for
US
you.
dollars, people? That number into US dollars?
Yeah, I just have to find it on those lists.
No,
I'm
no,
so
I mean,
sorry.
I want that number in actual US dollars.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah, the 2 million, that'd be nice. But yeah, this is the third part of my Monster Island trilogy. Got some cool stuff going on right now. In fact, if you click down to the bottom right there, or if you keep scrolling, you'll see there's a Trump. Since we were talking about President Trump and all that, I have a Trump Commander-in-Chief cover, which will be a naked cover, so it'll only have the Compass
Trump will
Comics
be
logo
naked?
on it.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And yeah, he pays for that. There it is.
There it is.
This is only up today. This is the last day for that. There's less than 200 copies still available. So if you guys are, Trump fans, you probably want to grab that because it's coming down this afternoon. And then the cool thing that came in was the I don't know if you can make me big. I can show you this real quick.
I've been saying that for a while. Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey, now, this is a slipcase.
Hey,
oh, that's sweet.
All three of the Monster
Nice.
Island books will fit in here,
Ooh.
and then you can stick that on your shelf. And
Yeah.
yeah. So this is really, really cool. I ordered 100 of those just to see what they were going to look like, and they came out so great. So I'm just going to keep it up, and however many we go over 100, no problem. I'll just order more.
Nice.
But, yeah, this is an exciting
really good
project.
idea.
It's a lot of fun.
There's the three
lots of cool
covers.
covers.
I like
Jewel-
this last one.
Which one?
Show all three.
The C.
If we can.
Oh, see,
There we go.
Very dynamic looking. Well,
Yeah.
also.
that's by Butch Geis. Yeah. the third
Oh,
cover is
hell
by
yeah.
Butch Geis. Yeah. The middle one there is really cool. That's my distressed cover. So it looks like it's
Ooh,
from the
I see.
1970s. It has wrinkles and stuff in it. It's all added in Photoshop, but that came out really cool.
It looks great.
Well, there's a trailer. Should we watch it?
Yeah.
We should.
All right.
And you won't get dinged, Az.
Wait for Gary's channel, so it's all good for me.
Oh, okay. Well, Gary will get dinged. I said you wouldn't get dinged.
I know, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Dang
Damn it.
it. All right.
From Graham Nolan. I love those unis. Well done.
Thank you.
It's a good old
Thanks
fashioned
for
comic
sharing
book. Of course.
Yes.
I like good
And
old
just-
fashioned comic books.
Just a
Well, that's what
reminder,
it is.
the link
I
is
mean,
in the description.
I wrote the original Monster Island in 1998 for my kids because I didn't like the way comics were going. I had 3 daughters. They were young at the time, and everything that DC sent me, because I was under contract with them, was either too violent or too sexualized. And so I decided I wanted to write and illustrate a book that was like a true all ages book, you know. And that's how Monster Island came about. So it really celebrates cartooning and fun and high adventure and that kind of stuff, you know.
Well, when you thread that needle, all comic books should be all ages for the most part. I mean, you know, as long as you can read them. You know, like we were just talking about Star Trek. I watched Star Trek as a little kid.
Yes.
As a very little kid, and grew up on that and didn't care. I watched Twilight Zone when I was like 6. So like dumbing stuff down for kids has been the worst thing that's happened to the arts in a long time. I hated. I refuse. After a while, I refused when Marvel and DC were both doing their kids lines. I'm like, fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did was, I found a collection of bronze reprints. You know, Marvel's Greatest Comics, Marvel Tales, X-Men Classic, which isn't really bronze, but I found a bunch of those, and I made my kid section out of those. And I did a pricing tier where it's like, if you're under the age of 12, these are $0.25, and you can get 4 for $1. If you're over the age of 12, you paid a higher price, which you're not supposed to do legally, but I did anyway. And it worked. It worked. It got a lot of kids reading the Bronze Age stuff that I was reading, you know, instead of like whatever garbage, whatever C team that Marvel decided to put on for some stupid Spider-Man book. And they were just dumb. And it's mostly written by people who don't have kids. So they have no fucking idea how to write for kids, because they don't ever want to have kids, and probably thankfully don't have kids.
You know, one of the things that I went back to look at is like the classic golden age comic strips. Before the comic books, there were the comic strips that were in newspapers around the world, and particularly in the United States. You had these classic Tarzan, Terry and the Pirates, Buzz Sawyer, Captain Easy. These were strips and adventures things that were beautifully illustrated, had huge readerships, and everybody could read them. FDR used to read them on the air during the Depression, you know, to people. So you could tell adult stories, or stories that adults will enjoy, but then you can also tell it in a way that a child can enjoy it on a different level. And that's the trick, is doing it that way. So you're not, it's not a pejorative to say that it's in all ages, which a lot of times that's the way it comes across. Oh, it's all ages, so you're dumbing it down for me as an adult. No. Casablanca is an all ages movie, you know, and it deals with, you know, Nazis and infidelity and friendship. And there's so many concepts that are in a movie like that a kid can watch and it'll just go right over their heads. But adults will see all that stuff, you know. The Quiet Man, it's one of my favorite examples. You know, it's really a story about a guy who wants to get laid. And if you really break it down, you know, but that doesn't come through when you're watching it as a kid, you know, because there's so many different layers in there. And you know, that's just really good, sophisticated storytelling.
Yep. I was watching the TV versions of Barbarella and Logan's Run. a lot of concepts are going over my head, except for a couple.
Right.
I hear a buzzing.
That might have been my phone. I got it on my table here. Yeah,
it's okay.
It's contributions from all the wonderful people that have just watched that trailer.
Oh, thank you.
At least I think so.
It was buzzing like X-Ray
I
Girl's
like the post,
handbag.
though.
My handbag.
Your handbag. You're big.
A big?
You're
What are
big.
you talking about?
Don't think about it too hard. Don't think about it too hard.
How's it going, Az? Y'all settled in after coming back from Paprika Bikini?
Yeah, since coming back from Paprika Bikini. Yeah, just kind of settling back in. Voice is getting better and better every day after getting all the Kool-Aids on day 2 of my travels. So yeah, things are getting back to some semblance of normality. This Saturday, got my big birthday stream.
That's right.
50. I'm turning 50.
Wow. It's all down.
You're a youngster, right, Gary?
I know. So
I know
So,
what you're
yeah.
talking about now, Az. The chat told me.
You interrupted this amazing announcement.
Chat's telling on me. No, I was done, MauLer. I was done. That's it.
Sorry.
So yeah, I'm settling back in. It feels a bit weird to be back, but it's all good. But yeah, now it's time to when February kicks, get the birthday out of the way, and then when February kicks in, it's going to be all hands to the pump.
Yeah, dude. When you hit 50, it's getting the birthday out of the way, just not making a fuss about it, and like it's every
I'm making a
decade.
huge fuss over it.
Oh God, you fucking girl. Well, 50's a big deal. 50's...
Are you doing a month-long birthday?
No, I'm not a woman.
Okay.
Now it's my birthday month. No,
Let's
fucking
celebrate me.
It's the
Yay.
17th. Shut the fuck up.
Birthday month.
You'll get pampered on that day. Don't make it.
Oh.
It's my birthday week.
Make a birthday year. Why not?
Birthday year.
I totally did it.
You know what? For 50, it should be. I mean, we were just talking about Casablanca and stuff, and you were pretty close to death back in those when those movies came out and you hit 50. You had like 2 or 3 years, or you're gonna fucking die. Holy crap!
They were going through 6 packs a day.
They
of
were.
cigarettes.
No, like we're at the age now. I'm looking back and it's like, look at Humphrey Bogart when he was 40. It's like he looks older than me now. Like,
I know, right?
Holy shit! Fucking hard drink. Well, alcohol, and the heaters and like non-filtered heaters all day. Lucky Strikes. But that's weird because my grandma smoked them till the day she died in her 90s.
Cigarette?
Yeah, she smoked fucking Lucky Strikes.
How old was Donald Glover, Danny Glover, sorry, character in Lethal Weapon?
When he says I'm too old for this
he's
shit.
like 40 years old.
He was 40.
He was 42. And I'm too old for this shit. Like, fuck off, kid.
Well, William Hartnell.
Yeah, he was like in his 50s, wasn't he?
I'm older than William Hartnell was when he first got the Doctor Who job.
And he looked like a 90-year-old man.
He did. God bless him. Yeah.
Do you guys ever see that interview with George Burns on the Tonight Show? He's 93 years old at this point. And he's there and he's got this gigantic cigar in his mouth and he's smoking because you could smoke on TV back then. Yeah. And Johnny says to him, he says, George, how many of those do you smoke a day? He goes, well, this is my 15th. I typically smoke 15 to 20 a day. And Johnny goes, 15 to 20 a day. Doesn't your doctor? My doctor's dead.
Damn.
And Johnny just loses his shit. It was so funny.
Anyway, he hit 100 as well.
99.
He was I thought he hit 100, didn't he?
No, he didn't make it. 99.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I know.
That's right. He was so close. Well, what Betty White too. Betty White was super close to 100, and they were planning her 100th birthday, and then she passed.
Yeah,
poor Betty White, fucking legend.
I mean, I'd be pissed. I'd be up at the pearly gates and stuff, and I'd be like, "Really? I mean, not 6 more months? I mean, I couldn't hit that number." And
it's
then
like, bro.
But didn't Betty White need like 2? Was it 2 weeks?
Yeah, it was. I think it was. I can't
2
quite
or 3
remember.
Weeks or something. And Burns was what? Yeah, just look now. Burns was like 5 weeks away from 100.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so close.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
15 to 20
Bob Hope hit a ton, though, didn't he? Bob Hope hit the ton.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And Olivia de Havilland made it to like 103, 105, something like that. She just passed away a couple years ago.
You know, it's when they hit 80 and then they
Burns was 100.
Who?
George Burns was 100.
Was he 100?
Yeah, born January 1896, died March 1996, hit 100.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. My bad.
I thought so. I thought so. Yeah.
Cool. Well, good for him. Now I feel better.
Yeah.
He did it.
You did it, George. I mean, you're not here because you're dead to celebrate, but
you did
it.
You did it.
Yeah, Bob Hope as well. Bob Hope hit the ton. God bless.
Yep.
Dude, you could always, you could still see his house when you go to Palm Springs. Palm Springs is awesome, by the way. So you go to Palm Springs and you look up on the hill to the right off of the 111 and you see his dome house. It's fucking huge. And you could like pick out the celebrities' homes there. I love that there's still like some of the 60s and 50s and 60s hotels there. It's still got some
really?
of the
That's
yeah,
cool.
it's still got some of the old, or there's like an old part of town that's still got some of the old architecture and just the swing and fucking 60s back in the day. You could just see, all the terminal alcoholics like, well, Bob Hope wasn't an actor, but Dean Martin, that whole, it's pretty cool to go there. I like it. I usually go there for my
Dean
UFO
Martin's
conferences.
family says that Dean didn't drink. That when Frank and stuff would do those parties until 5 a.m. and stuff, Dean wouldn't go to them. And that stuff on stage was apple juice, and it was all.
It was just
part
an
of his
act.
shtick. Yeah,
I'd like to believe that. Well, I mean, he lived pretty long. It was a good act. It was funny. It was funny. Freaking loved.
It's like Foster Brooks. Remember that guy? I mean, he made a whole career out of being a drunk, and he wasn't a drinker. Like he'd get up on those roasts, and he's sitting there laughing. He's talking. He stands up. He's stone cold sober, and then he walks over to the mic, and he gradually becomes drunker as he gets to the mic. It's like he clicks into that character. It's so cool,
dude. Those old roasts were great.
Yeah,
they were great. You used to be able to get them on VHS. I remember like seeing that infomercial at night. Get the Hollywood roasts on VHS.
Yeah,
those were the days. Hey, there's I don't know how good or bad this is, but let's look at it anyway. We have a Captain African American behind the scenes. Okay, I think they should be specific on which behind the scenes this is. Is it behind the scenes of the first one? Or the second one they shot? Not really sure.
Or the reshoots.
Or the reshoots.
Fifth one, maybe.
Fifth one, maybe. X-Ray Girl.
I'm just pulling up the clip.
I think there's a Canadian delay.
What?
I think there's a Canadian delay. Whether you want to, whether it's just a Canadian or Canadian internet, that's up to you to choose.
English is not my first language. Okay,
Hey,
whatever.
At least I'm being bigoted against your Canadianness. Okay.
I was gonna say something, but
why not? What's gonna stop you now?
You can't get away with it nowadays.
Okay, if you type it, I'll say it.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
This is what we call loophole racism.
Yeah.
The worst of all the racisms. Okay, this is definitely not what Az wrote. He said that I'm a slitty-eyed wench.
Ouch.
I did
He
not
actually
put.
wrote slanty.
I did not put that.
God damn it, Az.
Why would you say that?
And
Wow.
I see in widescreen or something.
Can't believe you called her eyes slutty.
No, it's just slitty. Not that I wrote it, but it's SLITT.
I read it as slutty eyed.
You saw what you wanted.
You
to
saw
see.
what you wanted to see. That you could barely see.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe if your eyes are a little bit wide.
Maybe they'll one day make a surgery for that. I can finally see.
Oh.
The glasses don't help, honestly.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Let's look at the cinematic and technical magnificence of Captain African American.
All right.
You're no
I come
Steve
to set
Rogers.
every day with a smile on my face because we're making Captain America.
Stop. Pause.
Being handed the ship.
Are you? Let's see if we see Steve Rogers in this.
Look, it's the hand.
Being handed the shield. It just means a lot to
Oh,
me.
it's Tiamat. Go back.
It's personal.
Tiamat. So they're fighting. Yeah. So Tiamat is where they're going to get the
Vibranium.
No,
Adamantium.
it's adamantium.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to come from him. That's a lot of it. I mean, shit, that's enough for an entire planet for a long time. If it's
Are Wakanda going to build an ethno state around it?
So, Graham, I know you watched every MCU movie and remembered every minute of it. This is from the Eternals.
What I didn't see.
I
I
can't
did see the Eternals.
You did?
I did.
Oh my God! Why?
Sorry.
Well, because it was the first pure Jack Kirby
Yes,
film that they
supposedly.
did. I owed it to Jack to watch it.
And they didn't do any Jack Kirby at all. Like
No, there was absolutely no Kirby.
no Kirby Crackle. The Celestials look okay. I mean,
Yeah.
that's about the nicest thing I can say. Everything else was shit. It was like the sepia tone brown fucking garbage. And like if they went, that's another thing. If they had respected the comic and went full Kirby and made it just a love letter to Kirby, I think it would have been. I think it would have done okay
I think they lifted it from the series that Romita Jr. did.
with Gaiman. Yeah,
Was it? Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Gaiman. Yeah,
It was Neil Gaiman? It was Gaiman.
Yeah,
The
yeah it was
poop-
Gaiman who wrote that. Yeah, I think that's what they lifted a lot of the concept from.
Dude, he's never gonna live that down. Good. Yeah, so they have addressed it, and I guess they're gonna address other things. I don't think they're gonna address the million Skrulls that are currently on Earth that have invaded from Secret Invasion. MauLer, do you think they'll bring that up?
I mean, well, the big funny element was Captain Marvel. The Marvels and Secret Invasion practically hated each other in terms of the narratives they were both running.
Yes.
That they didn't agree on what the fuck the reality of the planet was. But that movie didn't take any effort to sort of further the current world. Because even, like She-Hulk saying, what was it? The Accords have been annulled.
Yes.
Or that, which was the one, I don't think it was like an overt reference in any of the actual shows, but it was in an interview where they were like, the blip's mostly recovered from now. Like, we're past that. I can't remember who or what production it was. It might even been She-Hulk, but it was just like, we've moved past so many world events, they just don't give a shit. And so this movie, that's a partial interest I have. I wonder if they're going to make any other references, because are we going to find out what the Avengers team are from this? Or even implied to be? Who knows? But yeah, the Skrull War is definitely over because it never happened.
Because it never happened. We're going to just forget about it. I hope that maybe they're not going to bring up Nick Fury's wife, who's a Skrull.
That's all. It's all done. Secret Invasion is one of the most hated of all their projects, which is seriously saying something. Like, I've seen
Deservedly
Marvel
so.
still saying they really didn't like that one.
Was that a TV episode?
Yes, it was a
Yeah.
TV series following Nick Fury and the Skrulls from the Captain Marvel movie, and which were an immigration allegory. And then they turned into an extremist. There was an extremist group that broke off, and it leads into the Super Skrull, Graham. And the Super Skrull is just, it's well, it starts out as a dude, but it goes into Amelia Clark. It's Gaia, right? And it's not Super Skrull of the Fantastic Four, the famous Super Skrull, with the thing hand and the Human Torch hand, and those are not the awesome one. No, it's one that has Drax arms with his tattoos. So apparently the DNA passes on tattoos.
Don't get the rings.
Jewelry. It's got rings, and it's just all the MCU characters. And Gaia has the power of Captain Marvel, which would make, along with all the other Avengers, which would make her the most powerful superhero in the MCU by a long shot.
So that's not the Super Skrull. That's the Super Adaptoid.
Yes. So, but then she disappeared. Like, if you have a problem on Earth, you call Gaia. Like, she can handle it, like, over anybody. You just go,
we got Clark is willing to work with Marvel ever
we
again.
have this omnipotent superhero up. I guess she's on the station. Where did she go? I forgot where she went now.
Who, Gaia?
Gaia. She's still hanging around on Earth. That's right.
Yeah, she's still on Earth somewhere.
Isn't Gaia like Mother Earth to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They thought they were cute with that one. Does Graham know what they did to Nick Fury in that show?
Oh, probably not. So Nick Fury, who is the ultimate version of Nick Fury, right?
Right.
So we know in Captain Marvel, he lost his eye to a cat scratching his eye.
Yep.
They also had him marry a Skrull, which was very much a trans allegory. They had him destabilize a country, or no, the world, MauLer, the world, right? I would say, and then fuck off at the end.
So the story goes that the Skrulls land desperately looking for help. He says to them, "I'll get you a home in the form of possibly even a country or something huge, but you'll find you a home, possibly maybe another planet. In the meantime, do you guys mind doing amazing, like all kinds of espionage, wet work, all kinds of crazy Black Ops missions for me? Because they can, sneak through into every kind of position." And apparently every single achievement of his entire career were actually the Skrulls. There's a whole scene where they explain that everything he ever did that was impressive was actually the Skrulls.
So Nick Fury was just a desk jockey that used the Skrulls to get all his intel.
In exchange, he did not find them a home, and one of them, as a kid, got mad when they were older and decided they're going to get some revenge and try and... What was the plan? To detonate nuclear stations like all over the world?
Yeah.
Just to wipe out humanity,
Mm-hmm. They're going to use the radiation and the fallout to wipe out humanity, which they were immune to. They were immune to.
And then Fury cries in a couple of scenes because he's really sad.
He's married to a Skrull.
Of course. Why wouldn't he be? It's a really good show that everyone enjoys.
It sounds like it'd be absolutely amazing.
It's actually got one of the best quotes of the latter, deader part of the MCU that I think, Gary, you should definitely use more in your videos. But when after they give the big speech about how Nick Fury's not a good spy, how he stole all of his achievements from everyone else, the guy finishes with, and like Fury, don't try to rewrite history by claiming like you're a good spy. It's just like, wow.
Oh, meta.
So bold.
Oh, back to Captain African American behind the scenes.
And being handed the shield, it just means a lot to me. It's personal.
He has made that decision to become unabashedly Captain America.
Sir, hey, he stays.
And Harrison Ford playing President Ross is one of the many pinch yourself moments.
I had seen actors in the Marvel movies have a really good time. And I thought, well, maybe I ought to get me some of that.
Maybe I'll go make him miserable.
Yeah, but many creatives, including actors and directors and writers, reported a miserable time in the MCU to the point where they'll either sue or leave.
Scarlett Johansson.
Well, fucking Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright.
Should we get out the list,
Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
Joss Whedon, Jon Favreau. Terrence Howard probably got screwed over. He was a better roadie.
Big time,
yeah, he was a better roadie.
Much better roadie. And they had no problem recasting William Hurt. His body wasn't even fucking cold when they recast it, but they can't recast T'Challa.
Shit. No. Who else we got? An old white guy. Go.
Yeah. It's just I think a lot of these actors later in life, I don't know if it's the case for Harrison Ford, but this happened to Robert De Niro. It happened to Al Pacino. It happened to Jack Nicholson, that they all went broke later in life because they were shitty with money. And you think these guys should be, multimillionaires, and they own a lot of properties, but they don't own them outright. They have a lot of debt and they spend like fucking crazy. So they have to go and take shitty movies. They have their shitty movie era just to pay some bills. Kind of late in life for Harrison to be doing this, but dude likes the weed, but it's legal now.
Does he?
Back to Star Wars, do you think?
Oh.
I was shocked that he was in fucking Rise of Palpatine. I was utterly shocked. I'm like, what?
Everyone was.
For as much as how much he hates fucking Star Wars. And
who?
Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford, like, he loves Indiana Jones, but he's not a fan of Han Solo, which is mind-boggling.
Yeah, he wanted to kill him in the third movie.
Yep.
Huh.
Yep. And they listened to him in the sequel trilogy, and they shouldn't have, but they did. So, but I love Harrison Ford. I do. Just, don't get in a plane with him. That's all.
Yeah. He landed it.
He did in a park.
Yeah.
A rough landing.
Any pilot's creed is any landing you can walk away from is a good one.
There you go.
But he didn't walk away there, did he? Broke his leg, so he got carried away, but at least he was alive.
It's amazing he didn't get
Crawl
injured.
Away from it's a good landing.
Yeah, he got injured right on. It fundamentally changed the Force Awakens because he got injured and they had to do a lot of shooting around him. And
he got injured on Indy as well. So
yeah, he did.
He breaks something in one of his shoots.
Well, the dude's 80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't
Yeah.
he 80?
He's got a show coming out in a month.
A show?
1923. Yeah.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
he's
yeah.
82 now.
He's 82. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Holy cow.
Yeah, he's 83 in July. So
I
it's,
remember, because I remember hearing he was 40 for Return of the Jedi. As a kid, I'm like, that is so old. Whoa. I didn't know he was that old.
And now he's even older.
Now he's even older.
He looks good, though. I mean, the guy's in shape.
He looks great.
He's got his hair.
Yeah. Fucker.
Wow.
It's more than some of us, Geek, right?
How dare you?
I dare.
You dare greatly.
Hit play, X-Ray girl.
He was
Still.
great, and it was really interesting to see him sculpting a character in a world this big. I couldn't put a price on that lesson.
You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
That's right.
You're right. I'm not.
Captain America. You ever ask yourself, who's playing who?
Who's playing
Audiences are going to really appreciate bringing it back to old school Marvel. And I'm
I,
excited.
what's that? Yeah, what does that mean?
Huh?
What, yeah,
What's that mean?
That's what we call in the business sneak diss, you know?
Wow.
Old school Marvel.
Old school Marvel.
What's wrong with the new stuff, Anthony?
Yeah.
I still don't see Steve Rogers, but I think
I mean,
Chris.
he's still a normal guy, right? I mean,
Yep.
He doesn't have any enhanced super strength or anything.
No.
Towards the end, he has a vibranium suit, and he did get gifted a suit from Wakanda in Falcon and Winter Soldier, right? Was it a suit? God, I can't remember the series now. It's been three
I
fucking
can't
years.
remember. I just remember the what are they called? The Akuma Tates.
The
turning-
Akuma Tate. The Akuma Tate, the Dorvalage.
I just remember them coming out of their ethno state to say we can do what the fuck we want.
Yep.
We don't care about anyone else's laws or rules. We do what we want. Now we're back off to our ethno state. Deuces.
Yeah,
And then Twitter
behind a
being
wall.
Like, they're so fucking cool. And then John Walker kills a terrorist. And they're like, that's disgusting.
That's disgusting.
Oh, Akuma Tate.
Is there do they say Hakuna Matata all the time? That's their slogan.
Sound like Nell. Okay.
Still need to watch that.
Oh, I'll show some clips. I got to show some clips to MauLer. Nell is fucking funny. Let's finish this off, please.
Excited for people to see that.
Hakuna Matata.
So many surprises left.
You want me? Come and get me!
Oh, there's the pose. There's the fucking hero landing pose. I am so over that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, apparently he's got some vibranium suit where he can fly around in and take on the Hulk, and that like he didn't before. So he was fighting the Red Hulk just with the shield and no powers. And even internally, Marvel was like, the guys there were like, you can't do this. He would die.
How does Harrison Ford or General Ross, how does he get Hulk powers? How does he become Red Hulk?
It's a different form of radiation. I'm blanking on it right now. It's not the gamma radiation. So they, that was, I don't know if That was from, I don't know where you were at the time. It was from, what was the year? Mid 2010s when they did the Red Hulk thing, and they made it a big fucking mystery that it was General Ross. Well, they revealed it was General Ross. Once they did that, I was out. I was like, fuck this. I don't care.
But in the movie, how do they explain it?
Oh, they're probably gonna it'll probably be based on the leader's in it. So the leader's in it, and it'll probably be that variation of the Captain America super soldier serum that
set up since 2010.
Yeah.
Like all the way back when. Remember because like Hulk blood goes onto the leader's head in that movie. But we never saw the payoff for that. We're finally getting it.
We're gonna finally get it.
Oh yeah! Oh my
Who
god!
plays the leader?
Yeah. I
Does the
totally forgot. Oh.
Yeah, so
Does
it's
the leader have a big head?
I don't know.
The leader is DSP.
He looks like Darkseid Phil. No, it's I always Timothy Blake Nelson is back. Liv Tyler is back as Betty Ross. So it's Captain African American fighting Hulk. Well, she was in one of the versions of the film. Who knows if she's in this one?
We got like one scene maybe.
Yeah, but she it's bringing a bunch of Hulk villains in to fight Captain African American. It's very strange. And then they have Joaquin Torres Falcon, which was always a horrible. Yeah, the leader is Ryan Kinnell.
There's a tweet about like the scene from, I think even that, it could have been that video, I don't even know, but it's just where he's flying around doing a bunch of action stuff. And it has 10K likes. There's a tweet that said, one thing about Sam being Cap is that you can really get creative with the action scenes and the camera work. This film is going to be delivering in that regard. God, Sam is so fucking cool as Cap. And a lot of people responded like, he could do this as Falcon.
Yeah.
There's the wings. Like, what? Where were you? What are you talking about? Like, it's like some frustrating cope to try and explain why this is an excellent decision as opposed to the reality, which is you stripped him of the character he built. It's gone now. Given to some other person. Like, why did you do that?
You could have had this set up to like, because we, as you brought up before, we don't know who the fucking Avengers are. So you make this a soft reboot of the Avengers to set up the new Avengers. You just call them the new Avengers, and you can have Sam lead them. We've said that before, but doing the hand-me-down thing, I mean, it's going to look bad. It already does look bad. It's going to look worse especially when they start undoing this stuff, which they're doing already. They're going to start undoing this stuff, and eventually they're going to again have to recast Steve Rogers, Tony Stark, Bruce Banner. They're going to have to recast all these characters at some point, and that's what they're heading towards.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if only there was a character whose alter ego was something that was kind of an indicative of shame and a history that he wanted to move on from. Like an assassin where he was mind washed into being a big old mean man. If there was like a character who, being Cap could actually like help him move on from that and was like a best friend to Steve or something. God,
I got nothing. I got nothing.
No, I can't think of anyone.
Nah.
Yeah.
Iron Man, maybe.
Yeah, Iron Man.
Iron America.
Oh, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
there you go.
Oh, gee, Mr. Stark. Oh, sir, I wish I could be like you, sir.
Finally, we'll be able to have great action scenes because Peter is finally Cap.
No, Miles Morales. That's who it should be. Miles Morales should just play the Marvel
Haley
universe.
Atwell turns up and
I was
just
about to say, just combine them all. I was like, oh, we did already. It's called Gaia.
Yep. The end.
Yeah, what if Emilia Clarke just turns up and takes the shield and walks off?
That feels
Mine.
like the actual endgame of MCU's like disgusting sludge machine, where there's a character on screen that's just glitching out and is all the characters constantly switching. It's just like, you love this character, don't you? Pay to see this character. It's just everyone.
No, he looks like in that vibranium costume, whatever the fuck it is, he looks like something that a kid would put together in a video game, right? Which would be fine for the kid. But is it going to work in a potentially $400 million budget movie that needs to make $1 billion? It doesn't. We'll see how much they maybe. I don't know.
I'm assuming
it would be really cool if they let him be the Falcon.
Yes.
And gave him that red and white suit. You know, you can add you don't have to have the stuff under the arms. You can have the wings. And all of that, but at least stand him apart, you know, and let the character evolve on his own and make him likable. I mean, the character as Falcon, when we first meet him in Winter Soldier, great character. You fall in love with him immediately. You know, he's this guy. He served his country. He's seen combat. You know, he's dealing with PTSD. You know, he was a really likable and good character, and passing the mantle to him was just a huge mistake because it denigrates him, and people know it's not Captain America. They're waiting for the real Captain America. There's only one. You can only have one because he's only the guy who got the super serum. They've
decided that the Falcon as a character is just a lower rank in terms of interest. That's what they've said. That's what it is. You know, you didn't have, and we can all agree, popularity-wise, of course, Cap outranks Falcon, but not in the sense of like an admirable, noble character who is. We don't do things that way. We don't just have like anytime a famous one dies, the next one up takes their mantle. Like definitively, no matter what hero they are. I was like, that's insane.
I was gonna say he was the low-level cameo for Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
and okay, so now you're carrying your own. Okay, good luck.
Good luck.
Well, and if this film were an 11 out of 10, I don't know if it's gonna be able to make the money it needs to even with that. It's everything's working against it, which
word of mouth will help if it is really good. I don't think it's like Superman. Superman's going to do well if word of mouth gets out there.
But Superman's cap, I think, is higher than Falcon the movie. You know, like it's. What do you think the most this film could make in the best universe for
Captain,
it?
800.
Yeah, I would say Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 money, right?
See, that's what I'm saying. 800 isn't enough.
No,
it's not.
So
it's
even at maximum, I think this thing fails. There's nothing it can do.
Yeah, Guardians got hurt by previous Marvel. It had a pretty bad for a Marvel film opening weekend, like underperformed. But word of mouth saved it, and it had legs throughout the summer. And it ended up eking out, doing almost as well as Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 without adjusted for inflation. And I think that's the best case scenario for this movie. And I think Marvel would, considering how much they're just trying to recoup their losses on this one.
Remember when Falcon couldn't get a load?
Yeah.
Because he's black.
So in the Falcon and Winter Soldier show, Graham, the Falcon who knows, so a lot of rich people who knew Tony Stark, Pepper Potts, you know, she's still around.
There was a reference in Age of Ultron that they paid.
Yes.
Couldn't
get a loan for his boat. Couldn't get a loan for his boat because he was black.
It's so fucking stupid.
And he got profiled in the projects.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Imagine being racially profiled in the projects.
You know what's so fucking stupid? I remember the conversations at the time because some people were like, "Actually, that would be very reasonable and possible." It's like, bro, they're more famous in their world than they are in ours.
Yes.
They actually save the world in their universe. They're just movie stars in ours.
He would be one of the biggest superstars on the planet.
Yes.
He would have sponsorships coming out the fucking wazoo. He would have people desperate to him to do interviews. This guy would be loaded beyond his wildest dreams.
He could do the con circuit and make a few bucks, you know, for like.
It'd be easy.
Hey, those actors who do the con circuit at the Fan Expo, they make some money. Some of them do. They make some serious money.
Well, I mean, there's certain like ex-TV stars that just convert into con people, right?
Yeah,
really
so there'd be different ways for him to make money. But that was the same brain trust that went into this Captain African American movie, and that then it was bad and it was woke, and now it's just passable according to Marvel. According to Marvel, it's like now they're going to come out going, we totally believe in this movie. It's great,
like Thunderbolts.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe it's great.
Yeah.
Maybe it's great.
When's it out? Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. You could take your wife, your future ex-wife out.
Your ex-wife.
To a date.
And then how many weeks is it till Snow Brown?
That's in March.
That's like 3 or 4 weeks or a month after.
So it's the best thing going for it. It's got 3 or 4 weeks of no competition.
But we get a break in between because Daredevil comes out early March, and
March
that
4th.
looks pretty good. Hope it's good.
Is that going to be a movie?
No, it's going to be an 8-episode series. 8-episode series. So.
Hey.
Do we know if it's weekly or is it going to be?
What happened to the 18, 19, 20 episodes it was meant to be?
That was their first shot. That was supposed to be based somewhat on Mark Waid's run, the happy-go-lucky Daredevil, and that got shut down during the strikes when they were 6 or 7 episodes in. They already had 6 or 7 episodes in the can, and they fired everybody.
9. They had 9.
9 episodes, and they fired everybody and reshot everything. Now, some of that stuff is going to show up in this first series, and that was apparently what makes it a little rough. But
I've been told that the beginning portion is a little rough because it's the old shit, but the back half of the series is the new stuff, and that's the good stuff.
It rallies at the end.
But can they?
But Foggy and Karen weren't going to be in it. They're in it now. The original Vanessa Fisk was going to be recast. They brought her back from the Netflix series, which is good. Frank's back. White Tiger's in it, but that's from the old series. So that they carry that a little bit from the old series. So seeing White Tiger is pretty cool. I like White Tiger. I'm old school, but yeah. And Mayor Kingpin. Is there a potential to take Mayor Kingpin and make him, aside from the books, but for the show, make him a Trump allegory? Of course. You always got to think about that now, especially when things are made. Hopefully not, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, DC did that with Lex Luthor.
Yes, they did.
Remember, they did that whole book, and they trade dressed it to look like The Art of the Deal.
Mm-hmm. Hey, oh my God, MODOK. They did a Trump MODOK too, which was pretty funny. Yeah,
had to be better than the one in the movie.
I saw no MODOK.
Marvel did. Yeah.
How do you mess that
be
up?
an asshole.
How do you mess that up? It's just the design of that character is unbelievably cool.
You mess it up by making him too pretty and being really lazy and horrible with your special effects. Like MODOK could have worked. Absolutely could have worked if you just made him look like he does in the comic. It's a crazy concept. I got a MODOK figure right there.
Oh yeah.
Hang
so
on.
great.
I'll show you. It's the one that looks like he's just ate some bad tacos. Hang on. I'll show you.
Yeah, I got to see that. Giant head with little hands and little legs. It's disgusting. Look, it's so Kirby. I love that character.
Yep.
Well, he learned a very important lesson. Don't be a dick.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. How do you mess that up?
Taco Bell.
Wow.
He was also the most heroic character in the movie.
Yes.
Don't know how they managed that.
Wow.
Wait,
That was in
when
the
he-
Ant-Man
when-
movie, right?
He sacrificed himself, and then they all just took the piss out of him.
Yep.
Az, hold the fort for a second. I'll be right back.
Okay, we're just gonna have a moment of silence.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, but Gary just said before, they've got like faith, little confidence in this. But this is exactly what they've said about the Thunderbolts. This is the same rhetoric coming out. They're saying, internally, Marvel is saying that they're pretty impressed with the Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts is coming out before Fantastic Four, correct, MauLer?
Oh, yes. I want to say, yeah, surely, right? Yeah, there's got to be.
So if this flops, if Captain African American flops, then I don't think there's any chance for Thunderbolts if it does. And that's your lead into Fantastic Four. So this could actually have a big knock-on effect to Fantastic Four if they're not careful, because if people's interests already are at an all-time low, and I know you've said like your Superman's got the better deal here as opposed to Captain America, and I'm kind of like, I'm not too sure, because what Superman's got going against it is DC. And it's we've seen recently nobody's given a fuck about any DC movies.
What I was saying is it has the higher potential, as in all worlds, Superman can get further than Captain America without Captain America. Like if they were both at the absolute best, I feel like Superman gets the higher box office.
In theory, but when you're looking at bottom of the barrel DC versus
That's what I'm saying. Like the reality, is
Marvel verse.
Well, I mean, what is the state right now of the audience's relationship with superhero movies? It's complicated. The ones that have been most successful are all gimmicky.
Yeah, it was a gimmick that took the piss out of the fact that all this is turning to shit.
Essentially, either that or of the promise of seeing something precious that you haven't seen in forever. It's like, when was the last hyper successful mundane plot line about just superheroes saving the day? We don't even fucking get much of that anymore anyway. But yeah, I guess what I'm saying is like we're not even fully understood and assessed on what the audience's perspective on superheroes as a genre for movies is right now. The interest, what's the baseline? How is a movie like Shazam 2 going to do if it were releasing today? Better or worse than when it came out?
I'm going with worse.
Probably either worse or
it was pretty catastrophic when it came out. Like,
I don't think it's going to do any better. But
no,
imagine Birds of Prey. Imagine if Birds of Prey came out today.
Yeah.
And that was a film with $100 million budget. So it had to make 250, 300 million and only did 100 million at the cinema.
What about Captain Marvel, the first one? Not sandwiched in between.
I guess we saw that, right? The Marvels
Yeah.
answered that question.
The Marvels answered that question, right? I think all of these films would do worse. Actually, they do worse. I mean, even with Daredevil, looks like kind of a return to form. It's a ground level superhero story. Yes, there's other characters in it, but it's focused on Daredevil. And I think that's kind of should be a canary in the coal mine for how we go from there. Because that's if the superhero genre is going to stick around, and Marvel's definitely turned it into a genre instead. But like if it's going to stick around, it's got to be on the singular superhero. Can you just tell a superhero story? They couldn't with Blade. Man, that was some enigma they couldn't fucking crack. That's like, wow.
Well, Blade's a very complicated character that you can't write any story for. Yeah, no,
Too complex.
He's multi-layered. It's too much going on. It's vampires, complicated.
If Blade was an easy code to crack, there would be hundreds of vampire movies.
Yeah, killing vampires in an action film, not commonly done.
I've never watched a vampire movie.
Because there's barely any. That's why.
God damn it.
Yeah, it makes sense they fumbled that. But yeah, like if Captain Falcon fails and then Thunderbolts fails and Fantastic Four is like does noticeably better than them but still not doing great, and same for like Superman. I'm not even sure what this spells yet again for this industry, because it does feel like the death throes of them, but like there's like a question of whether or not it can resurrect, and it would have to do it through a change in storytelling, which our Daredevil, our Superman, our other things a sign of it. I don't know. I still don't trust Daredevil at all this new season.
Yeah, we'll see.
Skeptical. Well, it's the like I said, it's the beginning section, which is the already done stuff before they turned it around, tweaking some of that. That's the stuff I'm worried about.
It's a slow burn.
I don't mind slow burns as long as it's good.
He doesn't put on his costume until like halfway through the series. But he's still doing Daredevil stuff before that.
It can work. It can work. It's just
Depends on the reason he took a pause, right?
Yeah, I mean the thing is that's kind of every Daredevil season, but it's awesome.
Yeah,
but it's it's there.
Season 3.
But yeah, I read it in an article from like 4 months ago where Hollywood's approach to this is we have to keep doing the superhero genre because it's the only thing that was working and we don't have anything else. I think that stood out to you don't have anything else. Why? Why don't you have anything else? Because you gave up on the theaters, because you focused on streaming. Oh, and a Blade could absolutely work. You give a Blade movie, what, $70 million, $100 million. Just that would be the most you give that movie. You do a hard rated R, a hard rated R, where it's violent as hell and he's just fucking killing vampires.
Right.
That's it.
They had their shot at blowing money on shit, and they chose stuff like the Marvels or whatever have you, like Quantumania. When it's like split it up, why would they never have entertained an A24 approach with broader, less important, and maybe not even canon superhero projects that are extended, different, experimental, and cost a hell of a lot less? Like 10 million per, you can create 10, 20 of those for the cost of a Marvels, probably even more than that, honestly. One of them might work. Brand new idea, creative, original, new directors, writers, all this sort of stuff, and let them just fuck off, let them do their own thing. Because if it fails, it's whatever. It's a 20th of one movie, the budget that just didn't work out.
Why don't they branch off into different genres that are in the comics?
Well, that's the thing.
They tried doing Werewolf by Night, and some people liked it. I thought it was horrible, but what I could see the idea working really well. Then they introduced Man-Thing. We got the Werewolf by Night. You could get Dracula in there, Tomb of Dracula. You could create this. I don't know if they didn't want to do that because Universal was trying to do their dark universe, but we look at how that turned out. Every attempt at that's been a disaster. But that would be really cool if the Marvel did that, and then you could actually integrate some of the superheroes into that horror universe the way that they did it in the comics too. Spider-Man meets Frankenstein, in Marvel Team Up, Ghost Rider,
Satana, Ghost Rider, Brother Voodoo, Werewolf by Night, Man-Thing, Dracula. I was told a lot of that was China. Like a lot of that stuff wouldn't play in China, but that doesn't explain Disney Plus. And Werewolf by Night was like for their standards passable, but it went goofy. And that should all be like rated R, like really hardcore PG-13 or rated R stuff. Make it like horror. And it'll be really
cast too.
Yes.
They should have started up well earlier, a whole sect of like the MCU sort of thing. And it's just non-necessary viewing for the overall story, but fuck me, get some of the awesome heroes in there started up because the audience was totally on board for it. R-rated Moon Knight would have been cool. R-rated Ghost Rider in the MCU. Like this, just give it the chance to break out. And then of course, like in reference to kind of what Graham was saying there, like we can further extend to the point where it wasn't. I didn't see it, but wasn't Samaritan like an attempt to get Stallone into superhero movies?
Oh, Samaritan.
I never even watched that.
No, I didn't either. But it's like you got to imagine there were shit tons of people who were willing to work for lower budgets to have a chance at joining. We already know that everyone was. That's why like loads of actors ended up in the MCU. It's like, oh, that's what we're supposed to do. Just they could carry the production for a smaller budget and actually like launch something successful. I feel like that's kind of what the first Shazam was. It was a low enough budget, high enough success at the right time. Because the second one was just like, holy shit, that went.
It's a different tone as well with Shazam, remember?
Yeah.
A lot of people were, kind of like had it with the heady Zack Snyder stuff. So it was just something a little bit more lighthearted.
But then, like Logan is what if, and essentially like in a couple of ways. But one of them is Professor X with Alzheimer's, essentially. Could have done a couple of films like that for low budget. I know it's not exactly the most enticing thing considering the best of the genre, but if you had older heroes and how their lives change, in their later years, I've always hated the aversion to showing older people stories as though there's nothing to tell. All the older people stories are only them being depressed, alcoholic, deadbeats who don't like anything anymore.
Doesn't that tend to be the every old person's story?
This was bad. That needs to change. Tell more stories. Tell different stories. And then, I don't know, man. Just
look at old Hollywood. When you had these actors that were in their 50s and 60s, that were stars. You know, they were carrying their films, whether they be action films or dramas. You know, there wasn't that ageism in film and in most popular culture that there is today. You know, it's like we have to create this stuff for young people. Well, you know what? Young people know older people, and they know that they're not all decrepit. Some of them are like Gary and I.
Facts.
Yeah, you know, there's viability there. You know, I mean, look at Liam
Some
Neeson.
vitality.
You know, the guy's like 70. You know, and he's doing all these action films. You know, and you know, okay, they're not huge money makers, but you know, they're making money. I like those
as well, because I was saying this opportunity is essentially passed them by a little bit in terms of the guaranteed successes of like post phase 3, where they could have floated all of these ideas, because people would just go and check them out because of the MCU. That was like the height of everything, the branding. But now it's almost the reverse. And what a fucking waste. What was phase 4? Disaster. Just a massive.
Well, I mean, Gary and I will tell you, it was meant to be all new, all Marvel, and it was a disaster in the comics, and it was a disaster on film. So it worked exactly. They thought they could flip reverse and hit the normies, and if the comic book nerds, which they turned their back on, didn't accept this, then the outside world, which thinks exactly like we do in our fucking tiny bubble, they'll think exactly like we do, and they got rejected because guess what? The outside world and fans in general and comic book purchasers are the audience, are a representation of the larger audience. So that's why it failed miserably. They took all the beloved heroes, they stuck all the ideology behind it. There's too many white heroes, too many straight white male heroes. It needs to be diversified. It needs to be this and that, and they all fail miserably because they are not characters. There's nothing about their character at all. They are simply shapeshifters. They're simply mutants which have got the face or the mantle of whatever hero that they've usurped. They have none of the history. They have none of the characterization. They have none of the lore, none of the love, nothing. They are a superficial a caricature of what made that character great for decades. And that's why it failed, because people ultimately aren't dumb. And the people who unfortunately have these franchises are fucking dumb, because they don't understand the history. And therefore, when you just stick ideology above that, boom, this is what you get. Hey, presto.
Yeah. And like you said, they had all the data there. It was all there in 2017, 2018. They saw all of those failures. They had to fire Axel Alonso. David Gabriel famously went to the retailer summit, and the retailers were bitching about like, hey, that like we can't sell this diversity shit. And then he went out and kind of not so quietly threw them all under the bus, going, well, I guess there's a lot of retailers out there who just don't like diversity. They don't like black people.
Oh yeah. It's you.
It's you.
Yeah,
And
you're not selling it because you hate it.
And big surprise, the same thing happened with the movies. Just 3-4 years later. Same exact thing. Oh, well. Time for soups, guys. Time for soup. Oh,
I love
and some soup, actually. Yeah, I'll probably be getting some soup later myself. But
some ramen.
Yeah. I wonder if the snow melted from our 3/4 inch snow day.
I saw a picture. I had somebody, Hunter Biden's fucking knapsack exploded. That's all.
That I mean, yeah. It looks like he spilled some Coke outside. Josh Kelsey has dropped $19.99 and walks away because that's what Josh does. Thank you, Josh. WG for 20. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Sunshine in my Jesus, Barrowman. Is that your freaking junk on my shoulder? What the literal fuck? John Denver, October 11th, 1997. Oh, John Barrowman.
Too soon.
Too soon. How do I say this name?
Anvek?
No, up here. Okay, yeah. We could do Anvik first. Let's do that. Anvik for 20 says, Disney, in quotes, people want a hero who looks like them. Fired chief. People want to be saved by someone who looks like them, except husbands and fires, apparently. Methinks Falcon Cap needs a new tagline / slogan. Yeah, as I think there was an executive order yesterday out of the 200 that were signed. Hail the I'm glad the J6ers are free. I'm glad so many things happen. They got rid of DEI on the federal level. It's gone. It is gone, and meritocracy is back.
Yeah.
Meritocracy is back. So this stuff's going to look like fucking disco. As we said, we knew this was going to happen. It's going to look like a roller disco movie in like 1984. It's going to be that outdated. Xanadu. Xanadu was a roller disco movie that came out too late. That came out too late. Fucking music by
Kelly's last movie.
Yes, his last movie, music by ELO.
Yeah. And Olivia Newton-John.
Olivia Newton-John looking good.
Yeah. Xanadu. I fucking love that.
Oh my God, you look like Elon right before he gave a Nazi salute.
You over there! Hi!
What's going on?
Yeah. It was the Roman chest beat before that sold it.
Yeah.
There was a diagram that we showed on the stream yesterday where it's like where to put your hand and where not. And it's like you can put it like all the way up here. And you can put it down here and down here. But this area, it says no, Elon.
And you can use one finger or two, but you can't use
Use
all
five. So you can go, look at that. Oh God, it's so
now
funny.
let's all try it in unison together, okay? What? No, okay, never mind.
So, watching the media cope on that, and it's kind of funny that they focused on that, and it did take away some attention from all the January 6th hostages, as Trump was putting it, which was great, being released. I hope everybody's out by now. I know there was some difficulties, dude. That's administration in a prison, like that it's just fucking terrible. It's absolutely terrible. It took me. Like we knew what my release day was forever. And the average time to get out was like 2.5 to 3 hours of sitting around.
Mm.
And dude, you're freaking out, Graham. You're like, they're going to find something. There's going to be another charge. Something's going to happen. They're going to find out it was all a mistake and you got to stay another year, you know? And dude, shit like that has happened. So you're like just on pins and needles until you fucking walk out that door. And then you're like, and you start running a little bit. Get in the car and go, drive, go. Gora Lamar for $4.99. Hail, Graham. I just wanted to say I love Compass Comics and especially love Joe Frankenstein. Can't wait for number 3.
Oh, thank you.
Dude,
I forgot to share that one because we have Joe Frankenstein is the other project that I have funding right now.
Let's share
and that one. Share it. Okay, let me grab it real quick. I
think I have it.
Do you have it? Here it is. Here's the link. Do you want me to put it in the private chat?
Sure. Just in case this is the wrong one, but I think this is the right one. You said it's the third one, right?
Yeah. That's it. I have Raw. Yep.
That's it.
Yeah. I just finished scripting the last or the first 50 pages. Anthony Gonzalez Clark is just about done with the original artwork. The campaign will be coming down, closing out entirely, probably at the end of this month because I want to get the files ready and out to the printer by early February. So this one is coming to a close. So if you're into this and if you didn't get the first 2 Joe Frankensteins, you can get all 3 together in this one, just like you can with Monster Island. You can get them all 3 together. So yeah, check it out. You know, Chuck Dixon and I are created this project. We're spearheading this one here. It's a lot of fun. We talked about monsters and Monster Universe. And if you like that stuff, yeah, look at that. Look at Anthony's artwork here.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Joe Frankenstein's a fun read. You can get all caught up, just like he said. Good. I was about to use no, you didn't want to say that. Good binding. I was going to say good packaging, but presentation is everything. Presentation is everything. And Graham does a really good job with his books. So
yeah, big time.
Yeah.
That's my variant cover, you know, real
That's
pulpy.
awesome.
Yeah,
I got me some
Embrace
CGCs
pulp.
up there.
Oh yeah, CGCs. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, for you guys.
Yeah. Cheers. Chuck Dixon getting a movie made. I love Hollywood Reporter. Just like they bury his name in the article. It's like from Sylvester Stallone and David Ayer, and it's like, and also Chuck Dixon down here. But hey, he got mentioned at least. So
yeah. I'm wishing for any movie to be popular this year. I hope it's Chuck's.
Yep, The Working Man. Which the title was changed, and it's kind of a thing. I don't know if you've noticed. They've had the accountant, the beekeeper, the bricklayer, you know, the working man,
the mechanic.
Oh,
yeah. The blue collar working man.
The drywaller.
When are they going to do an action film about the cartoonist? I mean, what's more action packed than that?
Right. Have they done that though? There's got to be a movie called The Cartoonist.
I mean, what cartoonist would be ripped and have huge muscles, hey?
Yeah.
Graham?
The grout.
Well, he draws with lead, man. These things are filled with lead.
Yes.
They're heavy.
Drinks mercury.
So we need the drywaller, the grouter.
the electrician.
The electrician, the plumber. Yeah.
HVAC. The movie.
Yeah.
the gutter cleaner.
The gutter cleaner, yeah. Leaf guard.
And the villain is like OSHA, you know.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Yeah. State taxes.
Yes. Nathan Cassidy for $4.99. Graham, I got the Monster Island series and I love it. Can't wait for the next one, especially with the Trump cover.
Thank you, brother.
Get it
Much
today.
Appreciate it.
Anvec for $2 says more steak for the Grill Master Graham. Yes. Yes.
Red meat.
Graham's out there with his like 80 short shorts on, right? Grill during the summer, not now. Grilling all the time. You know, you got to leave him on the grill a little longer, Graham. Well, it's got to be well done.
Nothing more than medium, man.
Medium's good. Medium's I'll take medium, but I'm well done.
Okay. Yeah, I like it pink. You know, I don't like it crawling and I don't want it burnt.
I like a little burnt.
Medium rare.
Medium rare is good. I can do that.
No. Medium or well. Pineapple on pizza too. Very controversial.
I'm okay.
Subjects.
No, I'm okay with the pineapple on pizza. That's fine. That's good stuff. I had pineapple on pizza.
Ugh, West has fallen.
Well, you would know.
The West, which West? Which universe, though? Which universe is West?
Well, the one on this side of the Atlantic, we're okay now.
The second the guy slipped and dropped his pineapple on some pizza, that's when it all was over.
That's it all ended.
Actually Canadian.
that should
comes from beautiful Canada, pineapple on pizza. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Blame Canada. They should do like a peanut butter cup commercial of a guy walking down, like eating a pineapple and another one eating a pizza and they run into each other.
Well, just for that, X-Ray Girl, you are not going to become our 51st state.
Oh, they'll just tax us all on our products.
You know, we never
tariffs.
we never finished the commercial, but we did shoot one for the Comic Outpost where a guy was walking around with it was supposed to be the peanut butter cup commercial. So a guy's walking around with a painting and another guy's reading a book and they run into each other and it turns into a comic book. You got art in my story. I got story in your art. You know, I thought it was funny at the time.
By mentioning the States, I don't know if you guys saw the tweet. I don't know if this is real, but I just thought it was too funny. I was hoping it was real. But you know, with the TikTok ban that was temporary, or assuming it's back, I don't know. They said Cardi B was distraught to find her VPN wasn't working when she put it in Hawaii.
The scary thing is I can believe that.
I can so believe that.
I can legitimately believe
I sent it to Hawaii. What's going on? Oh, bless him. And she was telling people how to vote. You know, there you go.
They all do.
Yeah.
They can't help it.
Yeah, TikTok was gone for what? 6 hours?
I think 12 or something.
I didn't
like that.
track it. I don't know.
I don't use it.
Jeremy tweeted, like he said, this is the most Gen Z thing ever. And he tweeted, a raw news alert said when TikTok was banned, the 911 service here was getting overrun with teenagers calling about TikTok's ban and how they needed it back. So 911's our for the Brits out there. It's our emergency number. What is it over at your 999?
Which
You
makes
need
more
my dong
sense
for
because if
that.
you're in trouble, you want to be pressing the 1 button.
Yeah, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Like, you know, you have seconds to live and you got to go, oh shit, I got to go diagonal. And you might have like one finger. You like all your fingers are missing and you have one. I have this one chance. Oh shit, I couldn't reach the 1. I'm dead.
You put 912 and you're like, no.
No.
5 fingers.
All cocks and
pardon.
Whoa, hey.
What? Beg your pardon.
Oh no, John.
I'm reading a super chat.
That's a blanket statement.
All cocks and cum hold, says Infinity Ryu for 20 New Zealand pesos. Thank you. Thank you. You made us laugh. Get woke, go broke for 20. Says, I hope the Superman movies fail because fuck James Gunn. A lot of people feel that way. I want it to be good because I want a good Superman movie. I think it'll be.
Yeah.
I want a couple of good things to cover. I would like a bunch of good things to cover this year, MauLer.
It would suck if this Superman movie's so bad it like flops and kills Superman again. It's like, man, Superman's just not making a comeback for a while.
No, and then fucking Hollywood would go, it's white men. Nobody wants to see white men in movies. That's what they were saying. Dude, that's what they were saying about Batman and Superman. That's exactly what they said about Batman. And said, no, nobody wants to see 2 white leads right now. Sorry, Graham, go on.
3 if you include Wonder Woman. Well, I can't get over the suit. I love the colors. I love the trunks. You know, I don't like that new 52 collar, but most importantly, I don't like the clunkiness of it. The big wrinkly stuff. I mean, do they explain that or I mean, just I don't know.
They don't. And like the only thing I could come away with is they're maybe going for like a golden age look a little bit with like molded with the new 52. But that doesn't even play out. It's a choice, not a good one. You could see like it rippling up and stuff, and it's like
holds. It's not a good look, you know.
No.
I thought maybe they would change it in post, you know, clean it up, remove the wrinkles or something. But I mean, if you took Henry Cavill's suit, added the underwear to it, and brightened up the colors, done. Perfect.
Absolutely. There's actually been a couple of really good pictures of the Cavill suit, and they've sort of just got rid of a lot of the mess on it. So it's streamlined, put the red trunks on. It looks fantastic.
It's great. And brighten the colors.
Yeah, brighten the color scheme up. Yeah, and it looks fantastic. And then, yeah, this one it looks like fucking pajamas, man.
Yeah. He looks frumpy.
Frumpy is a good word. Yeah.
Yeah. He looks kind of frumpy. Doesn't look super heroic. I mean, when you see him in action, when he's saving that girl, it's great. You know, it's pure Superman there, where he's doing that. But when he's standing around, he's walking. It's like I feel like I can hear the corduroy moving. You know,
like you said, I think a lot is the new 52 was a fucking disaster. So why would you even want to try and emulate that outfit? It just doesn't. No. It
also has like the markings, the like. I don't know if they're like segments or they're just design elements, like on the shoulder caps. Like the new 52 had, you know.
Yeah, they just bunch up though. When he moves his hand, they just kind of like bunch up. So
yeah. Not a fan of that. But again, I'm hoping that it'll be good because I love Superman. He's the father of superheroes and the father of this industry, which has given me a career. So I want it to do well.
Me too.
It's un-American not to want Superman to do
damn
well.
Right. I want to see some American flags. I want to see some American flags in the background. We'll see how serious they are about that.
Yeah.
Infinite Ryu for Infinity Ryu for 20 New Zealand pesos. I am worried she's going to be a gender swap Superman like in the CW one. At least for the comics, they tried to make her somewhat different besides admiration for her cousin. She also shouldn't care for human female issues. Well, did you see them? Tom King? Yeah, that name is an immediate out.
She'll probably be fighting the will to kill herself because it's Tom King.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vaughn Beowulf for $10 says, Graham is 100% correct. The Kansas City Swifties are the NFL's anointed Pfizer reps. Go Buffalo in the Texans/KC game. Aikman was even harping on the calls in favor of Mahomo. He flopped. Well, Kansas City knows how to take advantage of these new rules. That's why they're, like other people will catch up to that, but there's no defense. There's just
but they have the refs. I mean, there's that reffing team. They showed recently the side-by-side penalties. When that reffing team is in there, the opponents have 3 times as many penalties as Kansas City.
Yep.
3 times.
It's hard to
Every
say
time.
It's not fixed and they aren't steering it in a certain direction. It's very hard to say it at this point.
Yeah.
NDI for $2 says, Hail Graham just bought the Trump cover. All right.
Oh, thank you, pal.
All right. Good for you. Good for you. Abraham Song for $4.99 British pounds. Proper money, at least for now. I'm looking forward to the dollar to surge past the pound sterling soon.
Do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
It'd probably be better for you, would it? It would look better. Well, you get paid in pound sterling, right? Even though you get paid from America. How come your payday is like so much later than ours?
Because our stuff is processed in Ireland, not in America.
Oh, and the Irish can't count. So,
hey,
they're too busy being drunk.
We get to it. We'll get to it.
Oh, you got paid today, didn't you? You got paid today?
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah,
eventually.
we won't get paid till Friday.
Okay. Anybody but the Irish.
Yeah. I love Blazing. I'm going to have to watch Blazing Saddles.
Oh, yeah.
It's in 4K now, baby. Abraham Snog for $4.99 says, Gary, you said Stephen DeKnight isn't back for Daredevil because he's busy with Peaky Blinders, but that's Stephen Knight. Sorry, I meant to say he was busy with Spartacus. I always get him mixed up. So Stephen DeKnight is busy with Spartacus. Not tonight. Also, MauLer, read Berserk.
Okay.
No, Stephen DeKnight. Yeah, there's another Spartacus. I'm going to check it out. I thought the Spartacus Blood and Sand is fucking great. Great. Monkey D. Luffy equals Donald D. Trump. Both change the world. Both are hated by the world governments. Both love to eat, says Liliest Uwu for on the Streamline. Uwu. For that's some weeb shit for $10. Thank you.
Thomas Gill's gonna get herself. She's gonna get some simps for that now.
Yeah, that's gonna get clipped and replayed a lot. Nothing you can do about it.
They're gonna have feet pics on one monitor, and they're gonna have that clip on the other monitor. I'm filming.
Thomas Lund for £5 for Az lad. For Az. Mikey Gussler for 10. What's up, Mikey? A good guest to have on FNT for the 14th of February, aka Captain America 4-Day, is Jay Longbone. She's hyped to trash this film. She'll also release her Falcon and Winter Soldier video around that time. Ooh. Look forward to that.
It's been years in the making, that one.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. I think probably MauLer's coming on. I think you're probably coming on for that episode. That would be my guess.
Captain Man.
Captain Man.
I think because it comes. It'll be on the day, so it might be possible for me. I don't know. I'll have to check.
You're not getting in a day early?
I can't. It comes out on Friday, right?
Comes out on Thursday
Right,
here.
and get your crap together with these
I'm
theater
pretty sure
releases.
it's Friday because I remember finding out. I was like, oh shit, that's gonna be tight for EFAP, but it's not because it comes out on Wednesday for Australians, so it's full Fringy's responsibility now.
There you go. The pre-sales, what we just showed, are horrible. Are absolutely horrible. You can buy tickets right now, and I mean it's anecdotal. So I live in like suburbia, so no tickets are sold. I'm sure they're sold out in Burbank, but I don't know about the rest of the country. I could look in a second. Remember, while Fauci can no longer be convicted federally, states still can and could, in theory, extradite him to another country. Any takers as MauLer? Like the UK would do anything. They can't even investigate rape gangs.
They don't want to find themselves culpable.
Now, Fauci posts a meme, maybe. 11 better for $10. Started watching the shows last year and y'all's recommendations and just finished You're Welcome and Hole in the World hit ya in the field. Spike and Wes are the faves. Screw season 4. Also, You're a Bloody Puppet.
Those are all correct takes. Every last one of them.
Screw season 4 of Angel.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And yeah, does that mean they haven't finished season 5 yet, or have they?
Well, he said You're a Bloody Puppet, so I'm guessing they have.
They're close.
They're close.
I would have thought they'd mention Not Fade Away because that episode is fucking amazing.
Oof. Good stuff. Good stuff. Any update on the next TFA drop, MauLer?
No. Wicking all the time.
Working all the time. Harukami for 10 British pounds, proper money. Every time I hear the intro, I have to smile. The TV jingle is from the Thames. The Thames. Is it the Thames, not the Thames River? The Thames. The
Thames.
Thames? Thames, did I say it right?
Yes.
The Times.
The Times. Television, which is ITV local channel for London. I used to see it all the time before Benny Hill. So before we're watching Benny Hill, that little intro would come up. Don't do 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 do. That means
that was Thames Television.
That intro, it was Thames Television. For some reason, it came on for Benny Hill, and that means that sound meant you might see a boob, because sometimes PBS would miss the edit, or was it? No, it was Channel 13. It was KCOP Channel 13 that was showing Benny Hill back in the day. And sometimes they would miss an edit and you get a little side boob. They also laugh your ass off because it's funny. But Forgotten Vet for $5. Hey, Gary, didn't Mrs. Trump look like one of the Spy versus Spies from Mad Magazine? Yes, she looked great, though. But she did look like one of...
The hat was funny.
I love the hat.
I saw someone say she was Oppenheimer.
People are doing it V for Vendetta.
Dude, they need to bring back fedoras. They need to bring back Art Deco. They need to bring all that shit back. That needs to come back.
I mean, atheists destroyed the fedora. It's too late. It's associated with like people who think they're cool on the internet. You gotta wait a little longer, and maybe we can get them back.
Yeah, you definitely can't go, my lady. Remington PRD for $10 says, hey guys, last Saturday I saw Nosferatu. I liked it, but I do have one question. The scene when Orlok and Ellen first meet, how did Anna sleep through that whole conversation? Well, I mean, drugs, right? Maybe it wasn't happening in reality. Maybe it was,
Have you guys seen that yet?
Yeah.
Not yet.
I like it.
I haven't, but I definitely want to go. I want to see it. I've heard good things about it. And I like Egger's work, like on The Witch. I thought that was great.
Yeah. It's
It's
very Eggers. So it is a lot of style. Like it's shot beautifully. The acting is great. The only knock I would have on it is it doesn't have like an emotional hook. You're watching something great, but it's something you're not like emotionally invested in, right? And it lacks a little bit of that. But other than that, it's a fun watch. It's a fun watch.
So the characters don't grab you in such a way so that when the horrors are being put upon them, you don't feel a lot for them.
Yeah. I would say the closest you would get is Johnny Depp's daughter. She does a really good job in it.
Oh, she's amazing.
She does.
Okay.
But that was like, it was like watching a really good painting. You know, it's like, it's really good. Everything was good in it, but it just lacked a little bit of an emotional hook for me.
Okay. That's big.
It's still the best movie I've seen in the last, but because everything was shite.
Yeah.
But have you seen Walls of Gromit?
Not yet. Not yet. That could change my mind. And I still need to see Substance. I saw Better Man and I couldn't believe I liked it. It's not like 10 out of 10, but
What about Wild Robot? Did you see that?
I haven't seen Wild Robot. I don't know if I will, but
I want to see the Substance.
Yeah, I want to see the Substance too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before Film Threats Academy Awards show, I will have watched all the best. I have committed to watching all the Best Picture nominees, and I think Substance will be one of them.
Yeah.
Yep. Because it helps to watch what you talk about. Crazy thing. Half Brain Gamers for $5. Prob not on the same scale of pain as MauLer, but I'm currently redoing an entire 3-hour video after it got corrupted. Oh,
oof.
You're not alone, long man.
That sucks.
That's happened. Hang on.
I had a whole day's worth of work on Photoshop once, and it went away.
Oh,
no.
Dude. Oh,
Yeah. It's like, oh, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
It's happened to all of us.
Mhm.
Entire videos that they're muted or there was something wrong with the mic or it caught the wrong mic. I've done it all.
Yep.
I just wrote I mentioned earlier that I finished scripting the first 50 pages of Joe Frankenstein 3, and like the last 3 pages, I forgot to hit save before I closed it out.
No.
And I'm like, wait a minute.
No.
And I open it up and everything past that point was missing. And I'm like, oh no. And I had some really clever things in there. And I'm like, I got to remember. What did I say? What did he say here?
I don't
Pain
know
in
why
my balls.
programs don't have autosave function in all their built in for that reason. Or just say, would you like to hit save before you
It took me until I was way too old to just remember to, like, every time I do an action, I hit Control S. Boom.
Yep.
Because I've had, especially when I was on that Camtasia editing software, that shit would crash all the fucking time. Just boom.
Oh yeah. I am literally. It's inbuilt when I'm using Camtasia to edit now. It's inbuilt. I do a segment, click save, save. So it's like ingrained now because that stuff can crash and holy shit.
Yep. On technical issues on that subject, James Zerbisky for $7.99 Australian. Hey Gary, was wondering if I could ask what type of camera you use for the podcast. Cheers. Yes, I use a Sony Alpha or I forgot. I can even look at it. I bought it by accident. So it was
Sony Alpha 7.
Sony Alpha 7. Sony Alpha 7. The reason I bought it, I forgot my 4K link in Vegas, and I looked everywhere locally to find one, and the only one that had one was part of a camera kit, right? So I had to buy the camera to get the 4K link, so I can. And I was like, I'll just return I'll just return it when I'm done and be a dick. But then I'm like, this camera's kind of rad, and I need one. So I just kept it. And it's been great. It's been great. Actually, I recently found out that I don't need lighting at all with it. Well, you need a light on, but you don't need like studio lighting blaring you in the face, which I fucking hate. So yeah, it's a good camera. It's like it was like $1,200. It's a lot, but it's not 5,000. So it's a very good camera. Focus on getting a good mic first. That is the key. Always spend your money on a mic first. A nice mic and a soundboard. Half Brain. I read that one. Oh, did I? Yeah, I read that one. Ray Gonzalez for $5. Hey, MauLer. Why did your people create an entire language out of spite for the English? Seriously, what are those fucking names?
Well, think of it more so as code, so that they can't see what we're talking about.
It's code.
And then whenever they arrive in our territories, we can tell because they won't know where to go and they'll ask for directions.
B-Chain 315 for $10. Hail, guys. Your BBC is my favorite BBC. Best BBC I've ever experienced. Also, I'm down 25 pounds in little over 6 weeks and keeping strong. Cheers. Well done, brother. Well done. Kalyoff for $10 says, you asked for this X-Ray girl. Please say this.
Where are we? What's that all about, eh? Maple syrup, blood pudding, fish and chips, crisps, lick a lolly on the trolley. I don't know what I just said.
Lick a lolly on the trolley.
Are those supposed to be Canadian idioms or something?
Maybe.
It started
I'm
out.
not
and,
that Canadian.
Yeah, it went British towards the end.
Yeah.
It went.
I mean, a boot. I mean, I get that.
A boot is very Canadian.
Yeah.
What's lick a lolly on the trolley, guys? You want to explain that one?
Is that like a dirty thing?
Wait,
Did I just
what?
say something dirty? Lick a lolly on the trolley.
Lick a lolly on the trolley? Oh. X-Ray Girl, watch Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust.
Okay.
There you go. Joe Danger, 37 for $4.99. I made a real BBC neighbor meme. Check it out if you wish. Also, as you're way older than I thought. Looking good. Hail Longman.
Thank you.
Hail.
Well, it's just how he acts. That's why you thought that, but okay. Ed Song for $10. The Long don't have siblings. After their eyes develop, the Long fight their siblings for dominance. The victor adds the length of the defeat to their own length. Only the longest survive.
Oh.
I like this.
There
The
you
winning
go.
longs don't tend to talk about it, though.
They don't tend to talk about it. Swaniak? What's that one? For $13.99 Canadian pesos, my Silo 2 review. All men are puppets of strong women. Every relationship is either same sex or interracial or both. It admits, and it's a definite downgrade from season 1, but I'm still interested enough to check out season 3. Have you seen season 2 yet, MauLer?
Of Silo?
Yeah.
No, I still haven't. I'm waiting. I'm going to watch it with Rags, I think.
Gotcha. Luke Kafelt for $10 says, we all know how the fight between Red Hulk and Captain African American would go. But what about Kingpin versus Batman? I still take Batman.
Take Batman.
Yep. I take Batman. What do you think,
I
Graham?
take Batman because Daredevil has fought Kingpin and has beaten him, and Batman would kick Daredevil's ass. So.
Yes. Yeah, we talked about that on the last stream. Somebody asked Daredevil versus Batman. It's like, oh, it's Batman. It's definitely Batman.
Oh, yeah.
We like Daredevil, but Daredevil is Marvel's punching bag. He is there to lose a lot. And that's part of the charm. He's got like a lot of grit, a lot of drive. Io for 10 Chilean pesos. Burdick versus United States. Pardons come with the reputation of guilt. They also are limited and cannot be applied to crimes against the state. Yeah, it was a weird move. It was a weird move. Unless they knew something. Unless they were like, I don't know. It didn't make them look good at all. So, Kingdom Come, C-O-M Deliverance. Bandit, have mercy. I'll give you anything. Henry, give me your loot and your cheeks. Bandit, you can't do this. You haven't completed all the dialogue checks. I don't know what I just said. Has anybody played Kingdom Come Deliverance?
Yeah. There's a whole thing going on with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 right now, and it's kind of getting a little silly.
Oh, you mean with that there was the possibility it was banned in Saudi Arabia, but it wasn't. The creator of the game came out and specifically said it's not banned in Saudi Arabia for an unskippable gay scene. Gay characters were in the first one. There is no unskippable cut scenes. And I think he clarified it pretty good, right? I mean, that was a good clarification.
Seemed to be.
Okay.
I don't know, just unskippable gay scene sounds funny to me.
Unskippable gay scenes. Everything's skippable except the gay scenes.
You gotta unlock the right to skip the gay scenes.
Enoch Maman reviews and rants for $10. The Quiet Man is one of my favorite movies. It's a perfect date movie. Chicks dig the romance and men love the fights. The Duke is the GOAT. And Maureen O'Hara was really hot. Yes. She's why I love redheads.
Every statement in that sentence was true.
Boom. Scrambler 37 for $11.99. These are euros. Hi, guys. It's my first super chat. Been listening a long time and love what you all do. Wanted to hear your thoughts on the upcoming Cold Day in Hell Daredevil comic. Basically, Old Man Logan for Daredevil. Thanks. I will not be reading it because I don't buy new Marvel comics. Those days are done. Long over. But I hope you enjoy it. I can't, just from what I've observed, these might be good comics. But since I talked about that Charles Soule run from 2016, haven't loved Daredevil since then. I the death of Daredevil, they made Elektra. It's like, fuck that. I'm done. I wouldn't even want to jump in on that shit. So I don't know where my collection ends, to be honest with you. It might be just past the Charles Soule run, but I have every Daredevil comic. Every fucking Daredevil comic. That was one of the first runs I completed was Daredevil. I'll just go back and reread the old shit. I'm fine. I'm good.
So now you have to keep buying it though, to keep the run going, but you just don't read it. Is that what you're saying?
I did that for a long time, Graham. Like with Amazing Spider-Man, I went 100 issues past where I wanted to and read 25% of them because I was so fucking done with it. But it was to be a completionist. And then I finally had an epiphany. I could just put a stopping point and I could still call it a run, especially with all the shit, and I've got like with Spider-Man, I went crazy, right? And I'm trying to do it with Daredevil. It's almost impossible, but I want to get foreign reprints. Like, I'm like, there's Mexican foreign reprints that aren't even authorized. Like, that's the shit I have. I have all the variants and everything. Total completionist. Then one day I'm like, I don't need to buy this fucking shit anymore. And it was thanks to Tom King. Tom King was the straw that broke the camel's back for a habit that I've had for over 4 decades, almost 5 decades of going and buying comic books regularly. For my entire life.
He's like the George Costanza of comics. He turned you lesbian.
I mean, arguably, I could always be a lesbian, but I mean, not like Disbrew, but yeah. Yeah, thanks to Tom King. Fuck Tom King. It was a culmination of events, but Tom King just waking up one day and deciding he wanted to cancel Jay Lee is gay. I was like, I'm fucking done. Forever.
Yeah.
And I haven't looked back. And you know what? There's a lot of those Silver Age DC books that I hadn't read that I just like that are a huge blind spot for me. And they're cheaper. So I've been just hunting those down. I have been collecting like horribly racist Golden Age covers because they're funny.
And there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them, man. But that's
even some of those characters that appeared in Captain Marvel. When DC got the Captain Marvel rights and they started publishing it as a Shazam, and those 60-cent giants, they never published any stories with Billy's friend, who was like a black kid, and I can't remember what his name was, but it was like Sambo or it was really racist, and he had the big lips. Just like Will Eisner's character. He used to hang out with the Spirit. I can't remember that guy's name either, but
Young Allies. That's the covers I've been getting. The Young Allies covers are good stuff. Funny stuff. There's even the Superman cover. It was so funny because I'm going to put you on Front Street. Father Christopher Miller, the Catholic priest, put this cover up. I'm like, oh, I need that. And it's Superman. He flew through the earth and comes out in China. And he's like coming out under the ground, and the Chinamen are. It's so.
They got the ponytails with the little hats.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Good times. Arg, another name for 1999. Remember, you have no Fifth Amendment rights once you are pardoned. You can't self-incriminate anymore. Compelled testimony time. Is that true, lawyers? I heard that a couple times yesterday. Is that true? Well, we'll see. We'll see. Adam Ant for $20 says Star Trek the Motion Picture is a damn masterpiece. Not going to get an argument from me. The God of Gravy for $19.99. As missed you Friday, missed you more than Kamala missed the cup when she poured her morning glass of wine. Good Lord, she drinks more than X-Ray Girl. And I'm trying to say is that Pearl Harbor sucked and I missed you.
Oh.
There's a lot to unravel there.
There's a lot to unravel, a lot of lore that we're just not going to get into.
Okay.
We could be like Suspicious. You've never heard. Suspicious Observers is the sun weather guy. He's fucking hilarious. I love him. And he fully expects you to watch every minute of his streams, and he doesn't like resetting information. And when he does, he gets pissed. It's hilarious. It's so good.
I have rules. You didn't read rule number
But
one.
he lays out the rules. He's like, before I start the stream, I've gone over this stuff before. Watch the other stuff first. And he gets mad. It's funny as hell. Erekias?
I think so.
Yeah, for $20 says, so even Captain African American's villains are leftovers. Yes.
That makes sense for
originally it was supposed to have a Captain America villain in it. And they do have a Captain America villain in it. Giancarlo Esposito. But that was last minute. I'm blanking on who he's playing again. Who's he playing, chat? Who's he playing again?
The insert.
But the Serpent Society was supposed to be in there, and that got completely cut out, right? And then they brought the leaders in there, and Red Hulk. You know, I forgot who it was. It's probably because I don't carry very much. John Ray 3000 fan fiction.
Check the chat.
Check what chat? Private chat or what's private chat?
Sidewinder?
In here.
I'm reading it. I'm reading it.
Only you and I know that chat exists. Okay.
Oh, I was going to why do you got to go? I'm almost done.
Because Chat's mum has made me a beautiful meal, and we expect it to be a 3-hour show. The 3-hour show to be a 3-hour show.
How long was it today?
Well, we're currently on a nearly three.
Oh my God! I'm so sorry. Please tell the fine folks where to find you.
You can find me on the YouTube doing YouTube. But this Saturday, I've got my 50th birthday bash. So be ready. Be ready for that. Tomorrow on my channel, Ripping a Silverback with Eric July, 7:30 UK time, 1:30 Central. Go buy Graham's books. It's good people's. And stay tuned for more.
Stay tuned for more. Well, I'll see you Saturday. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, if you could grace me with your presence for a couple of minutes, that'd be great.
Couple of minutes. Get the fuck out of here. Well, hopefully you make it to the birthday stream. It's amazing you turn 50 being dead, but
right?
Yeah.
R.I.P. as, eh?
R.I.P. as. Get the hell out of here.
Bye, Bob.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.
We're almost out of here. So John Ray 3000 fan fiction for $19.99 yesterday. In his speech, Trump said that he will make sure that employment will be based on merit and there are only 2 genders. Maybe now we will get entertainment made by people with credentials that care about their work. If that happens, it's going to take years to undo what they've built up. As we said yesterday on Jeremy's stream, this is just the beginning. Like, this is just the beginning. There's so much damage has been done. So many weirdos and activists who don't give a shit about any of this stuff have infiltrated it. So we'll see if it turns around. I hope there's a desire to make good stories, because I'd like there to be good stories. I like good stories. I like enjoying movies. I can find ways to enjoy them if they're bad, but I'd rather see a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're so rare, you know, especially when you're paying for them going to a movie theater and you walk out, you want to be like, oh yeah, that was so great. Remember that scene, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
You know, not so bad when you're watching it stream and it's like, that sucked, but okay.
Some of the most fun we have in the channel is when we cover something good. Those weekly House of the Dragon season 1 streams, or even season 2, were tons of fun. Everybody loved them. That'd be great. That'd be great. We'll find out. I'm going to do Daredevil weekly streams. Weekly streams for Daredevil. Hell yeah.
And where are those Fantastic Fours you were telling me about?
Oh, I didn't. You know what? You'll have to show them. They're right over there. I got a full run of Fantastic Four that I've been going through over the last month for my kid.
I still need number 5.
You need number 5?
I do.
What are you looking for? A certain grade?
No.
You just need a number 5 that's together and not shit and not
exactly
not restored in any way, shape,
2,
or form.
5 or 3 is fine.
I can get that for you. I have a couple number 5s.
So let's talk.
Yeah, I got a full run. Well, it's up to 600, right? So for my son, for a complete song, figuring like what is in this thing, it's like, oh shit. So I did it for my kid. It was an investment. That's the way I sold it to the wife. JRL 1436 for $19.99. Hello, gentlemen. I would like to believe Marvel and DC can change, but I don't think so. James Gunn lies, and Marvel liked Agatha. That's true. And said we can F off as fans. They did. Appreciate you guys, but I don't trust them at all. And you shouldn't. They don't deserve the benefit of the doubt in any way, shape, or form. And never would I tell you to fucking trust them. No. I like Daredevil, the Daredevil show, and I don't want them to fuck it up worse than they already have. That's it. I'm just a nerd. I want it to be good. But if it's shit, I won't be surprised, and I will say so. At the end of Nosferatu, when he is holding her hand with the vamp on her, I was watching a dramatic retelling of the Destiny story. Haha, MauLer. Shake from Hunger Team has donated $10. So real quick before we go, yeah, Destiny, who's a streamer, Graham. He's a streamer. Basically, he's the Washington Generals. He's a lot of the right-wing media space loves to, and he's got his own thing too, right? But a lot of the right-wing media space likes to bring him in to be a punching bag. He looks like he's on Adderall all the time. His jaw's always moving like a speed freak. He was in a polyamorous relationship. Surprisingly enough, it broke up. You know, I know that might shock a bunch of people, but yeah, there's some bad stuff going around, right? Allegedly, by the way. I don't know. Maybe it's more than allegedly, MauLer. But
from what I gather, someone is suing him for revenge porn, like the concept where you release things you're not supposed to, because like I said, I wouldn't want to speak too definitively on it. All I know is that something big and controversial is happening, and it seems like it's pretty terrible for those involved.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. All right, we're going to get the rest on a square up. Thanks, everyone, for joining us, except for Az. Fuck him. But thanks for having Graham Nolan on, comic book legend. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Tell the fine folks where to find your wares once again.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I got enamored by the crowd.
Yes.
You know.
Oh, they loved you. They loved you.
Hey, you can find me on Facebook, on X. I'm on. I have a YouTube channel. It's Nolanverse CC. on YouTube. Wednesday nights, I do The Landing Party, which
The
is
Landing Party.
With a Star Trek show, the original series with Ron Garney, Aaron Lopresti, and Star Wars girl, Anna. So that's a lot of fun. And tomorrow, is tomorrow Wednesday? Yeah.
Tomorrow's Wednesday.
Yeah. We'll be doing Wolf in the Fold,
Oh.
Robert Bloch script. That's
Nice.
a good one.
Oh, Robert
Kill,
Bloch.
kill. Piglet saying that. So yeah, and check out my stuff at compasscomics.com right there. It'll take you to links to my live campaigns, and you can pick up any back issues that you may be missing there. So again, thank you, Gary and X-Ray Girl and MauLer, for having me on. I had a ball today.
Thanks, Graham. Thanks for coming on. MauLer, what do you got coming up?
Typing?
Typing?
Supercut has recently been created and finished for the Veil Guard, starring, of course, myself, a little platoon, Metal Commander, and a lot of Az. So that'll be on MauLer eventually. I'm not sure what day I'm putting that out. There's a bit of a Az rudely chose to be born on the day that was going to end up being EFAP Saturday. So it's like, I told him this. I was like, how am I supposed to come and hang out when I'm supposed to be doing that? So now I'm trying to figure out if either I'm going to come in early and then go to EFAP, or maybe we take the week off and I release that supercut on that day so that I can go and, hang out with my buddy for his close to death birthday.
Yeah.
Post death birthday.
You don't know how much more we're going to get with this guy.
I don't know. I
thought he
can't
was
track
already
how
dead.
alive he is. So so there's that. So Saturday you'll definitely be getting something fun. I just don't know exactly what it is yet. That's all. So yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, I'll be there. Although I might be busy. Never know. I'll just make something up. Say I'm recording a video. I'm actually just watching TV. You never know. X-Ray Girl, what do you got coming up?
Tomorrow we have the Nooner on this channel, of course, with Chris Core.
Sure.
And then we've moved Morning Roast, if you guys watch it on my channel, to Friday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. So, and of course, FNT.
FNT with
RMB.
Robert Meyer Burnett talking about Star Trek, everybody's favorite subject. We're going to watch
Section 31.
Section 31 and then
At least it's just a movie.
Yeah, not like the Spider-Man series that's
multiple
coming
shows.
out. Fucking Daredevil can't come fast enough, to be honest with you. It really
That's
can't.
what she said.
I was about to say.
Ho! See, Graham belongs. Graham belongs. One of us. So yeah, see, I'm Friday Night Tights. I'm going to work on a video. Chris Gore tomorrow. All kinds of fun stuff. See you next time. Thanks to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everyone who left super chat donation. You help keep the lights on. And we'll see you next time on Az's channel. If he lives.
If he lives.